actually posted that we were live in this. Hello, everybody. We are here and we are live. So welcome to, I don't know how many people are here yet, but I am Lesbi Nerdy and these are my friends. That's Bree, who has a fabulous crown, which always comes with the bling. And this is my friend.
YouTube open. I was trying to find it to close because I had your like 5
yeah, double
delay.
audio. Yeah, double audio. I get that. Yeah, that messes everything up.
Thank you, my beautiful crown.
Yes, yes. And my friend Jenn as well is here, who she's in the hot tub with either. Okay, are you in the hot tub with Daniel Henney? Like, is that what it is, or are you like playing the part of Daniel Henney in the hot tub with Maureen?
Unfortunately, it looks like I'm sitting on his lap. I am not. That was not the intention.
Yes.
The intention was actually to pick a different background, and this is I chose the wrong screenshot, but it made me laugh so hard that I kept it.
Yes. I mean, it's a good screenshot.
I think I'm hanging out in the hot tub with him and Maureen, and I'm just like, warmer, please.
Please. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It could be warmer. It could be warmer.
I love that his shoulders are like at my shoulders. It's so weird.
It's great. It's
yes,
great.
We'll try another background later.
Yes. Okay, so your sister's here.
Oh yay! Hi Meg.
Hi.
Hi first sister.
Hello. So the purpose of this stream is obviously to have fun, and we've got the season 3 of the Wheel of Time coming up soon. So we are definitely going to be talking. I thought it'd be cool to have like writers here to discuss your writer brain and what you think might happen for season 3. But also, I am being very mercenary. I would like to go to WoTCon very much, please. And so I have a GoFundMe set up. There's a pinned link in the comments there. And if you have like a theory or a question about something that you think about season 3, and you you donate, these writers will use their writer brain to address your thoughts and questions and whatnot. So
I will make up reasons.
I was just gonna say we can make shit up,
correct, so that you can go tell everybody.
Yes, and I am going to just give double, triple, I don't know, bajillion kudos to Bree, because Bree said something on my channel years ago that I have been quoting ever since. I hope that I've remembered to credit you every single time I mentioned it, but I don't know, Bree. But you want to say it again? Because the minute that interview came out, I was like, ah!
I had a theory that they were going to reverse going to the waste and the Stone of Tear, because I thought it would be much more satisfying to have the people of the dragon actually come to the Stone of Tear. Mm-hmm. And I also felt like the midpoint, because they've always talked about having 8 seasons, and so like season 4 being the one where he claims Kalendor, which is the prophecy fulfilling big thingy, just felt like a good midway through the journey before things start getting dark. So that was always my theory, that I didn't think they were going to get rid of it entirely, but I definitely thought that going to the waste first kind of. My dog is also going to participate a bit tonight, so if you hear that, she also has strong opinions.
Yes. And I also remember you pointing out, and it's just one of those things that we kind of forget, that Robert Jordan thought it was going to be a 6-book series.
Yeah. So that was his midpoint.
Exactly. At that point, that was the midpoint. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Very astute. I have been wondering. I was just like, I guess we're not going there. I guess we'll figure that out somewhere else along the way. But I like the new info. And I think that's a great theory that you had from the get-go. I love it.
Yeah.
I also think how spoilery are we?
We are full okay, Mikey. Sorry. Mikey, how far have you gotten? Tell me in the chat, because you are the one I know. And whenever I yell in my videos about read faster, I am talking to Mike. I'm talking to everybody, but I am directly talking to Mike. Read faster. How far have you gotten? So I think it's the Gathering Storm, but I'm waiting for him to say.
Wow. Well, that's close.
Yeah,
that's
pretty close.
And my husband will probably be listening later. So as long as we just say spoiler, then he'll plug his ears and run away screaming.
Okay.
almost so much Shadow
spoilers
Rising.
is definitely a book 5. Book 5.
Book 5.
End of book 5.
Okay.
Great.
Mike has gotten as far as book 5.
Okay. So what I was thinking the minute I saw that too is because they've already mentioned that Moraine wants him to go to the Stone of Tear and he's going to go to the Waste this season. So if we get our what happens at the end of book 5, you know, Moraine doing, because we've had a lot of she has to die this season. So if that happens in the Waste, think how devastating it would be for him to have been the one who told her to go there, and then to have him turn around and go to the Stone of Tear where she wanted him to go the whole time because she wanted him to. Wouldn't that be just like both painful and like awesome?
It's also really fitting. I mean, that's sort of his journey in the books, is as soon as he finally starts listening to her is when we lose her. So like that idea that he is suddenly having all that angst about going to that, it just makes it more poignant to go there then. I love that. Yeah.
And I said in a recent video that traumatizing Rand is kind of the fuel that makes the story go. So, you know, we traumatize him more. Because someone also had a theory like Melindra, of course, in the books is Matt's little, Matt's friend. What if she's Rand's friend instead? And like, oh, what if he goes from like he has a nice little sweet relationship with Egwene, breaks up with her, and then hooks up with literal Satan, kind of, and then it's like, okay, I'm mature, I've learned my lesson, and then it's Melindra, and it's like it's traumatized.
Rand. I have a theory about Melindra too.
What's your theory? Okay, that's what we're here to do. Yes. Also,
I think yes, she might. They might be using her as like a BFF for like a best friend, a friend for Aviendha, who's gonna like betray her.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, right. Like because the two maidens we've seen are clearly off to the two rivers. I think clearly. I'm pretty sure that's where they're headed. So
yeah.
I feel like having a maiden to like, be Aviendha's friend on the screen, especially one who's going to end up, maybe Breaking Bad. That would be, because I do think that the show's doing a great job of showing all the other characters' trauma in a way that like the book sometimes didn't go as deep on.
Yeah.
So what a way to like hurt Aviendha, like specifically.
Yeah. That's great. Sure. That's great.
Wow. And thank you, Michelle. I have some things I could do. Look at my head. My head brings money. I've also seen some donations come in on GoFundMe as well. Thank you so much. I'm going to be doing some interesting things. Like I could maybe, let's see, do a little swing dance for so, it's weird that it does the face tracking. It continues the face tracking, but I can't control her head.
Right.
I can't control where her head looks. So, and it's still going. Wow, this is a long dance. Oh my God.
You're real excited.
Yes.
I'm very excited. Dance, monkey dance.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's been really fun it's been, this just like continual pouring of information we've been getting over the last 2 weeks. From the shredding on down, but like all of even episode names being released in log lines on Amazon Prime and stuff. And I'm like, it's really great because I'm like, all my theories are kind of like, oh, I was wrong there. I was wrong here. Okay, switch that. Oh, now that still works. It's been fun.
I'm very excited. I'm holding out. Elaine and Aviendha, man. They were smoldering in that picture.
Yeah.
That was a smoldery photo. A smoldery photo.
Yeah.
That is like my biggest season 3 manifestation. I wanted Damadred drama in season 2. I wanted my canon battle thruple in season 1. Avi and Elaine, some sort of confirmation that we're gonna get something there. That's what I want in season 3.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Come on, Rafe.
Okay, so that's number 1 on your wish list. Do you have anything on your wish list or theories, Jen?
Wish list. I mean, it's interesting because I had just seen like I said, I just saw the breakdown of the episode names and the log lines, and I was like, oh, this is really going to track like a pretty clean translation of Shadow Rising. Now, I love adapting
I
all
don't
over the place.
in the log lines. Where are log lines?
If you go to the on Amazon Prime on the like they have the first 5 episodes up, so they now have up
Ooh.
thumbnails and log lines for the first 5.
Okay, so log lines are the descriptions of the episodes?
Like just a little like in this episode this happens kind of thing. And it's great because it really feels like it's tracking really cleanly with Shadow Rising. And I'm always like, just you can't adapt a book, like let it go, just like have fun. It's such a great book. I'm rereading it right now too. I've been rereading. I'm almost done, but I've been rereading it as we're getting closer, just because I wanted to kind of keep it all fresh. And it's just it's so compelling. I'm like, once you get out of the stone, it's here. What, you're not seeing them?
They might have gotten taken. They might have gotten taken down. I saw that on Reddit. It might have been a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that's a wild thing for them to do.
Yeah.
So
interesting. I'm really curious if they're still there. I did actually copy and paste them all though. So
oh, good. Share them.
I do have them.
Hey, that's a good question, Thatcher. I don't know this because this is not my industry. Why are they called log lines?
Yeah,
that is a really good question, and autocorrect changes it every time I write it to long lines, which I find incredibly annoying because I'm like, I've been writing the word log line now for 20 years. Just get over it. Autocorrect.
But sometimes also the lines you write are long, right? So
they are very long. I overwrite everything. This is true. But that's a really good question. I don't know that anyone's ever asked me that before, and now I'm going to have to look it up. I have to find out the answer to that question. Log lines. If I can find it out before the end of the live stream, I will let you know.
Okay. Somebody asked earlier to show the photo, so I have the photo here, the smolder photo. Oh, there it is. There, look how smoldery. Like, look at this. Look at these eyes.
Yep. That is smolder.
Yeah, I don't know. I would. This would kill me. Any woman looking at me like that would just kill me. I would die immediately. A happy death. Really great. A very happy death.
It's so great.
Yeah, I love that they're drinking too. It's just so good. It's
Elaine's main method of bonding.
Yes, it is indeed. Okay, so I've saw somebody posting them on Reddit, and I just pushed past it. So I haven't actually seen. I'm trying to avoid things because I'm trying to be as like not spoilered as possible, which is kind of hilarious right now. But yeah. So yeah. Okay. They're holding tight to season or book 4, which is what I figured. Although we know like Matt is going to Tanchiko.
True.
So that like Matt has a very different storyline.
Matt, I mean, I think it's interesting because I love it. I think it's a great choice. Rereading actually him like just tagging along in Ruidian, I find really annoying anyway. Like Rand's like, I want to go, and they're like, okay, you can go, and then Matt's like, I want to go too. It's just like, why are they letting him go?
It also doesn't make any sense in a world where he hasn't got a like motivation that some people told him that he has to go there. Like,
we need to get we need to get the I'm when I saw that door, I got so excited. I'm gonna give myself kudos. Been saying I think we're getting the Finn. My theory was we were just going to get them once. We might get them twice because I did see snakes and foxes on that door. But seeing that door just made me so happy because it's one of my favorite moments in the books. I get goosebumps every time I listen to it. Is the go to Rodion, son of battles, go gambler, go. Like I love that moment. So
good. Can I admit something that I just discovered today? I was today years old when, and I was so embarrassed when I figured it. Literally today, this happened. I was scrolling through something Wheel of Timey, and I was like, Donald Finn, his last name is Finn.
I didn't think about that either.
Never occurred to me before. I was like, we're getting them.
My theory has always been we're going to get 0 Finn, or we're going to get more than we get in the books, because it just feels like a lot of investment in creating creatures and different worlds and stuff to just like for a one-off, man. Especially if some of our characters are going to go hang out there.
That makes sense. I
agree. I think they need to go more or cut it.
I'm down for more. They've been very selective with how much of the more wacky world building they include. The things that just don't really match the, cohesiveness, like the portal stones seem to be so far not
so
showing
far.
up.
That's one that I called back when we were just seeing images. I was like, Waygate's portal stones make them the same thing. Like when everyone was so upset about what do we got, Jenny?
I just got a massive donation. Money is raining. I'm gonna do a dance. I can't see who donated it. I'm so what the hell? What? Thank you. There it is. No, that anonymous. It's anonymous. Thank you, anonymous stranger. What the fuck? I'm happy.
Yay.
Thank you, anonymous stranger.
Yay, anonymous stranger.
You were saying words, Jen.
Which were not anywhere nearly as important and as exciting as that.
That is just okay.
Anonymous stranger.
Karen.
What? Was it Karen?
Yes.
Karen!
Oh.
Thank you. Are you Karen that I met last year?
Karen, this is my roommate
friend.
who I made start reading Wheel of Time in like 2000.
Okay. Yes, I met you at last year's WoTCon. Okay.
Yes, I realized that she was at WoTCon and I started texting everybody I knew in the fandom, like, go find my former roommate right now.
I looked at my phone. Go find Karen. Karen, are you Karen? I think I just walked up to you and said, are you Karen? It was how I introduced myself to you.
That's exactly how I met my best friend in kindergarten.
There you go. It works.
Leads to good things.
Wow. Oh, okay. Sorry. Karen, do you have a theory or something that you would like our writers friends to do stuff to with your theories? Also, thank you. And Jen, you were saying words, and I like about halfway through I stopped hearing them.
So, I was just saying that the Portal Waygate combo was something that when we first saw the Waygates, I was like, I don't think the design of these being so far away from what we expected of a Waygate would be that unless it was also the portal stone. Because there was like, it's the aspect of the stones outside, like, and like, that are kind of weathered. And I was just like, yeah, I think they're portal stones too. So far that's kind of, I mean, they don't actually do what a portal stone does, but so far that's, I feel like that's what they are. In my head, that's still where they are.
My question, I guess I'll ask you guys, because I'm not as far as like mushy magic or things that are difficult to explain. I think the most difficult thing in the books to explain is Slayer, just because I still don't quite get like what happened with Slayer. If we were going to skip anything, it would be Slayer, but also I could see them having Slayer. And some people have said some really interesting theories in my theory videos about Slayer, but I want to know your thoughts before I say them. And I see Karen.
Let's see what Lan thinks. What do you think, Lan?
Sorry, what about your cousin? Sorry, your cousin.
Karen, I felt smug. I felt smug about calling the tier plot line. I literally got on Blue Sky and I was like, hey, I said this a long time ago.
Long time ago, yes. I felt very smug on your behalf, Karen.
I will say, though, I do throw out a lot of stuff because I think, like, and Jen can back me up here, part of the writer brain is that you can see, like, 17 different ways something could happen.
Yeah.
And so, I've done a lot of theories and I've put a lot out there, and they're not always like things I think will happen, but I thought that one made a lot of sense to me logistically.
Yeah.
But I have also had other things that made sense. So
I will to be fair, you probably also have said stuff on my channel that didn't, but that one landed so hard. I've repeated it multiple times. I was just like, no, Bree said this. I've thrown it at people's face.
But it is, it's interesting because I think, Bree, you're right in that writer brain thing too, of like there's always a reason to come up with 25 different ideas. Now, for me, not being a writer who gets to write my own story, but who has to deal with like a writer's room / execs / networks and that kind of thing, it's because I know it is the best idea, but someone else is going to have a reason why we can't do it, budget or some other reason. And so like, it's about troubleshooting, like, okay, here's 17 different options. I'll pitch you the ones I want first, or I find the right place to pitch it. Cause sometimes like you throw it in the middle because they're not going to like the first 3, but then if you put it in the middle, but it's, that's kind of the game, is to like, how are the possible ways we can get there or get out of this or find our way there, which has been such a fun part of knowing these stories and trying to guess how they're going to get where they're going to get.
And that is something I said like to you, Jenny, a long time ago. I remember you asked me to like explain the difference between plot and story as I see it.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, we know the story. We know that these characters have to hit certain beats. They have to learn certain things about themselves and each other. They have to grow in certain ways, have certain revelations. But how they're going to do it, how the show is going to do it is just so wide open because there are so many different ways. There's always like 50 different plot possibilities to get to the story beat you need.
Yeah.
And so, and I've loved a lot of the show's choices. I mean, I think there's only one choice that I have like.
I still, yeah.
I mean, and it was in the pilot. It was the parent wife thing.
Layla.
And I do think that's going to pay off this season. I think it's going to pay off huge.
Yeah.
But it was one of those. Okay, that was a lazy trope we maybe didn't have to do.
Yep.
You could have found another way, but execs,
Yeah.
And
it's one of those, I understand why, but I also was like, so many things, so many, like it's not even just the fridging. And it was for me watching this going, oh, look, a black man in rage killed a white lady. Oh, great.
Yep.
That was great. Thanks for that.
Yep. I remember when I heard that, I was horrified for all the right reasons, all the same reasons. And then I think it was actually probably on your channel, Jenny, and Bree, I think you were on, and you guys were like, blah, 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 fridging. And I was like, yes, like here's me in my kitchen, like doing dishes while I'm watching you. And, but I also like from the standpoint of somebody who knows how you have to shortcut certain things, and also feeling like Perrin frankly I feel like he got cheated in the books. Like he's like, I'm a rager. And I'm like, are you though? Like, did we really see you rage? Because the most we saw, the reason he hates himself so much in the first book, like, and the acts, is because he thinks about maybe killing Egwene if they get captured. And I'm like, you didn't even do anything. Like so I felt like he got shortchanged. And in that sense, I was like, thank you for actually giving him something to be really conflicted about, knowing that his whole journey of like axe or hammer, peace or war, like that's such a big part of his arc. Thank you for giving us a reason. It just sucks that that's the reason. Just give him a husband instead, and like have him not fridge a woman, but fridge a guy.
At the very least. At the very least. Yeah.
Could have been a better choice, but
a mentor, a parent,
or make it
brother, sister.
Yeah, Master Luan. Yeah. See, and this is the thing though. I get why they did it, and I do forgive them for it because, like,
yes, 100%.
In a vacuum, like, tropes don't exist in vacuums. Fridging, killing the wife is not a problem because in one show you kill the wife. It's because they do it in all the shows. And then often the wife was the only main character who was a woman, and the only female role in the show is for someone to die so the man can be angry. And that is not the situation we are in.
Yes. Not even a little bit.
We just watched 11 minutes of season 3 that was like 40 women and 2 men banging on a door going, we're here too.
Let us come and poke them with our sticks because that will be useful in this situation. Yes. Right. Sorry. Just thinking, what do they want to do? What do they think they're going to do in that room? They're going to walk in and just explode.
Yes. It does garner some forgiveness because of how well the show passes the Bechdel test. Like they get a pass on some of it. So yeah.
And it's not like fridging does happen in the books. It does like Dina, we all know, but it's you do forgive it because there's a bajillion other ladies, and it's not like even if we take just the books, then I do forgive, but that is the choice that
I will say.
One choice they made.
I don't forgive it quite as much in the books because I don't think the surrounding text supports women enough to like
not
forgive
as
it.
Much. Yes, you're right.
But the show has made up for that. So
it has.
I saw a question back there. Let me go back and see.
Oh, okay. I think I got distracted by the whatever, but I do want to know your thoughts about Slayer. What do you think?
Oh, okay.
And then I want to present not my theories that other people have told me that now have my brain going.
You go. Okay,
You go first,
okay.
yes.
I was just going to say I agree with Bree that it is not my favorite storyline in the books, and I'm reading it right now. I'm reading the beginning of it because I'm reading Shadow Rising. Like, and he just got arrowed and ran out of the inn, and it is confusing. It's hard to understand, and ultimately, in the books, I never felt like it should be Perrin's story. It should be Lan's story. It's like it's the person who was like challenging him for the crown of Malkier. Like and the Luke side of it is like the Luke Chagrin never pays off. So I just felt like it was all of these like things that were out there, and the idea that they were like, let's just make this guy the Wolf Slayer, and so he can be like Perrin's nemesis. I struggle with it still, and then so I don't love it in the books to begin with. I'm questioning this whole like Melindra thing. Is that because they're going to take it out of the show and give her the potentially other crown descendant of Malkier? That's my question. Is she going to be more of that?
Immediately go to slay Lindra on the Dusty Wheel when I heard that.
Okay, I didn't get to watch any of that live stream, but yes, sorry, there's more donations. So I'm gonna
literally rolled out of bed for that. So I love Fael too.
Yes.
I am
there's some donations on GoFundMe as well. Thank you.
She's my head. Okay, I will sidetrack. She's my headcanon. I don't know, like she's the probably only person who's like physically matching my headcanon, which I don't really care about because my headcanons aren't usually very physical. They're much more a feeling of a character. So I'm like, sure, that could look like the person I've been reading about for most of my life, because at this point they're just like in me. But she looks amazing in all of the trailer footage. I get like, honest to God, when she runs across the screen, like running as fast as she can with the knives. I think that gets me more excited than anything. And that was not on my bingo card for things I wanted to see in season 4. I was like, Fael Shmiel. I know everybody loves her. I have some issues with her sometimes. But it just it hasn't been like a big, super exciting thing for me. And I think I'm almost most excited about that after having watched all the footage so far. I can't wait to see her.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say my Slayer opinion, which is basically the same as Jen. Like, in the books, it bothers me. Like, and I don't know, maybe Robert Jordan had some, like, long game that just didn't make it to the final books or didn't, make it to the notes. But it is frustrating for me. And every time we talk about this, some guy pops up to explain to me that fiction is more satisfying when it doesn't all pay off. And I'm like, go to your room. Go to your room. No. I can't understand why Rand's uncle and Lan's cousin get mushed in together for a plot point for Perrin, and it never matters. It never matters that this is Lan's cousin. It never matters that this is Rand's uncle.
Yeah.
And we had all these teases where like Nynaeve sees him in the dream, and you almost think this is going to matter because it makes way more sense for that to be a thing for Nynaeve. I mean, he would want to come get her.
Yeah. Yeah, because she has a moment when she's like,
Is it Lan?
Yeah.
And so, I never liked it in the books because it felt like wasted potential.
Yeah.
There was a period in season 1 where we were trying to be like, after we lost Layla, I was so upset. I was like, let's make her Slayer. She'll have a real good reason to be mad at Perrin.
That's right.
I don't know. I think that you can do, and I do feel like I've seen somewhere some indication that there is a Lord Luke character maybe cast. But like,
I saw that too.
Very, very. I'm not paying super close attention to like everything that comes out. And I feel like there's something there. I think there's something there, but I think they're gonna probably adapt it. And I think I understand from a world building perspective what they were trying to do. Like the whole thing was that, the claim at least was that because he had 2 souls merged into one body, like Perrin is 2 souls merged into one body, that gives you the same. But it's not something that holds consistently. Like, the Dreamwalkers don't have two souls in one body. And then the Channelers can do it just if they channel, and all of the Forsaken are doing it. And
well, like I said, Slayer is the mushiest magic in the books to me. Like it's just oh, they bumped into each other and whoops, now they're one soul. Like it's just
You got your
it's
chocolate and my peanut butter,
that's
right?
Well, I think it was
Exactly.
very heavy implied that like the Dark One made him
yeah,
for
yeah,
a purpose, but what purpose?
yeah.
He's just running around trolling like Perrin for 18 months. And
Yeah.
then, you know,
Yeah, and it muddies the rules of Teleranriad for me. Like it just, you know, the whole idea when we start there is that the Forsaken are like so incredibly powerful there and they can find you and, you know, like you have to be really careful. But then there's also this other rando walking around, like, and who was raised by the weird river, the Black River, where the Myrddraal make their sword. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just in the town. I don't know.
town.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I loved the town. I thought that I
Oh.
mean, it was a late development, a late drop.
Yes, and Mikey, you haven't read it yet. Read faster. No, it's vague enough. I don't think literally saying the words "the town." It's not
the town.
Yes.
But yeah, it is. So I don't know. I don't know what I think they're going to do with Slayer. I haven't seen enough. I think they can do some cool stuff. I think they just need to make him a Dreamwalker, you know, if they want to do that, because it's not like that doesn't already exist as a, you know.
Yeah. Now, what the theory that I wanted to bounce off you, and I have not thought this through, and I don't actually even know if this was the person's theory, but in one of my theory videos, they said something in a comment about Padan Fain and Slayer, and my brain went, ooh, what if we merge them somehow? And I haven't actually thought it through to see if it works. So I'm just saying it to writers. Can you see how it does it?
I do think Padan Fain makes a lot of sense as a nemesis for Perrin.
Yes, that okay. Mikey, go away for like 10 minutes.
Well,
that
okay,
was one of the most unsatisfying things for me too, because I always saw him. Yeah,
and I heard this theory too. I jumped into somebody's talk one night and heard part of this because they've already diminished the Padan Fain.
Sorry, Mikey, you're fine. You're fine. Sorry.
They've already diminished the Padan Fain Matt and the dagger situation. Like, we don't know how much that's going to come back. Like, we may still have a little more of it, but that becomes this, the through line through the books of like, that's why they had this history. But then Padan Fain there isn't that much to do with Matt beyond the first one. He's just chasing it down Rand. So
yeah,
because we've already set up that he and Perrin had the interaction because we lost Barney in season 1 and it had to be Perrin to step into that thing. I'm like, yeah, that's great. That's a really nice, I can see that as a clean, like, if you make it him, he already has that history with Perrin there that he doesn't really have in the book.
Categorically, Perrin is the one who lost the most because he brought the Trollocs to the Two Rivers.
And it's the same in the books, by the way, categorically. I mean, probably larger numbers he might have killed other people, but like the most hurt he did to us as readers is
I'm talking Perrin. The first time in the show.
Oh, but I'm even talking like even in the book.
But if if he's going back,
right.
Like, I mean, the first time Padan Fain showed up, Perrin accidentally killed his wife.
Yes.
So that was that's a. And if
true,
if he's going back, I don't know if we know for sure if he's going to be with the White Cloaks like in the book, in the Two Rivers. But if he goes back again, I'm going to feel like he's Perrin's.
We just saw the new picture of him. His costume looks White Cloak it looks like White Cloak induced. Yeah,
it does. It does.
Yeah. And I was like, that's nice to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Megan just put in chat. She said Rob agrees with you, Jenny, about that idea that it might be Padan Fain. And I'm realizing that it wasn't somebody else's live stream that I was watching. It was my own podcast. Oh. and it was my co-host Rob who actually had that theory. Sorry, Rob. I'm glad you already went to bed tonight. He says he's sorry he's not watching, but he was too tired and he fell asleep.
Okay, yes. Okay, I do have to say it is not my theory. Like, you're agreeing with me. It's somebody else said it, and my brain went, ooh, and I like that idea, and I'm gonna noodle, and then I think I went to sleep and didn't noodle, so I'm noodling here.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, and actually, I forgot. Megan's reminding me in chat too. She's like, that is Rob's theory, is that didn't actually happen in real time. That happened in Teleranriad. Yep. That when Padan Fain stabbed Loyal, it was all in Teleranriad, and it's not really real. And he's got a whole theory about how if you listen to the sound, when Rand is dreaming, when he pulls the bats out of his mouth, like the sound drops out. And so if you listen to that, he says the same thing happens with the sound. It's a good theory. I'm not sure I'm 100% on board, but it's good.
I don't hate it either.
Something weird happened when Perrin was running around. We knew that there was something going on.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I do feel like there was probably some stuff that was happening that like, you know, because the end, they were doing their best, but like some things got muddled. As evidenced by the Nynaeve was dead or not gate of like, I got to watch a screener because I was going to be doing like a live watch the next day. On the whatever that Twitter Spaces thing, which was a nightmare. Rob was there too. Rob and I trauma bonded trying to stay in that Twitter Spaces. Like it was so messed up. But because of that, I watched it. It's the only episode I've ever seen. I watched a screener of. I've watched earlier than the fandom, and I hate doing that. By the way, I don't want to be quiet about things, but because I watched it 24 hours earlier, I sat with my absolute conviction that Nynaeve was not dead. She just got hurt, and then Egwene healed her for like 24 hours, and then the whole fandom explodes into, now they say you can heal death, and I'm like, what? Yeah.
That was what I don't think I thought that she died until I was like, I never did, because you know you have your book brain, right? Like my book brain is like, of course she's not dead. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. But then watching all the first time reactors go, what? I was like, oh shit, yeah. She did kind of look like that.
I saw a lot of first time reactors who didn't think she was dead though. What was weird was that it was a lot of book readers who saw it, and they, instead of going, well, she can't have been dead because you can't heal death, they immediately went, they've changed the rules so you can now heal death. And I'm like, that's a leap.
I'm like, if you look at Amalisa and you look at Nynaeve, Nynaeve is pretty toasty, but she not that toasty.
Yeah, there was toasty, a very visual language, but I do think that it's totally understandable that people missed that. Sure. Because they were like, you know, I was paying attention to, because Egwene did the same healing gesture that we saw Karenni do. You know, so like that was the visual language of the channeling, and then the like different makeup levels, which I think I saw a special where they said they had like different makeup. So to me, I picked it all up, but I do think it was confusing. If that many people were confused, you know, it probably missed the clarity mark.
Yeah, my sister was. My sister was like, so she resurrected her. I'm like, no.
And there was also like COVID stuff too, of like they
couldn't be so much going
together
on
for that long because of COVID, and so
I think people couldn't touch each other, and you know it was the whole thing.
So I don't want to like resurrect that, but just like I think that what I had always thought was that maybe there was something going on with that Perrin thing in the hallway. Like in a World of Dreams thing that also maybe just didn't get conveyed or hit exactly. So I'm here, Rob. Okay.
Yeah, and even if that wasn't the plan, like I mean, we've talked about this. Actually, all of us have talked about this, and you can what do you call it? Retroactively headcanon or canon it. What's the word?
People call it retconning, but I think it's not retconning if you are the creator and you go back and you find something and then you go, hey, this could have meant this the whole time, and you layer new meaning onto it, which is like 60% of my job when writing a series.
Yeah, but it's also but you can retcon and you can retcon. Like I think that there's that of being like, okay, I had the seeds of that, even if I didn't like lay it out clearly then. Like it, you know, and now I'm still like in the creation process of this world, so I'm like making it into what it needs to be. I think that's like perfect. But there's also retconning, like the George Lucas retconning, which is like actually none of the things that you knew to be true are true at all, and that's not how it works. And somebody right after the prequels came out, somebody described it as, and I'm actually a really big George Lucas fan, and I've even met him, and he's a nice guy. So sorry, George, if you're listening. He's not, and I don't really know him.
If George Lucas is watching this live stream, I better hit my goal.
If you're listening, you owe us a donation right now for this. But somebody described, and then he's gonna like remove money because this is so mean to say, but somebody described it as he's like a child drawing a circle with a crayon, but when you get to the other side of the circle, it doesn't match up. Like it, because that's how it sort of feels.
I do want to say, Karen and I met in Star Wars fandom.
Oh, wow.
That's
that's
where we
awesome.
originally met.
That's
So
great.
because of the prequels.
That's so great.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
yeah,
Karen has thoughts too. Yes.
Yeah.
Not retcon.
of course,
Yeah.
Karen and I both have thoughts, but yes, it is definitely. I think that once, okay, like the kind of retcon I'm talking about, and that they could do with that scene is like when you change it before you've put something concrete on there.
Yeah.
George Lucas definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely
He, like,
put some stuff
destroys
out,
the
and then he was like,
foundation
"Nah,
and
I think something else."
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I believe that, like, and this is something that happens. There are some contradictions in the books too, like, you know,
Yeah.
because Jordan was writing his way to this world building
Yes.
system and
Mhm.
writing his way to his magical rules. And the
Yeah.
first couple books are a little wobbly on it,
Yeah.
which is super common, common.
Yeah.
But sometimes people try to defend it with this, like, you know, all this, like, they make up fantastical reasons why. And I can't remember what I was going to say about that now.
Mm.
Oh, that sometimes it just is, you know, you just went back and said, this isn't going to work and I'm going to change it now. And it's good to do that. And you don't have to, like, defend it or, like, you know, make it a. So, but I think I'm hoping I'm just, like, thinking about all the stuff I'm doing that with, like, in this book I'm finishing right now. Because I've got one of those weird writer brains. I've got a very subconscious one that's constantly putting stuff down there, like putting little seeds, like it's screaming at me to notice. And then I get, like, into the next book and Donna's like, do you realize that you spent the entire last book setting this up? And I was like, no, but thank you, past me.
Exactly. That's the past you who knows where you're going that you don't know yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
The future you, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Writer brains are wild, especially when you've been doing it long enough that you start getting that subconscious cooking going on.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. I think also, like you, I would imagine, especially thinking of Jordan writing the series over literally decades, that you grow as a writer. And so you would improve, and then you can go back and, okay, I can't rewrite that book because it already exists, but I can, you know, put something on top of it that will make the foundation stronger or something.
I think he does that in Andor a little bit. I think that when Elaine is going back for the succession crisis, some of the stuff that drove me crazy about how this is a matriarchy, but it's so patriarchal, it is not as much bad in later books because he'd written them like 12 years later. And I think that he realized that some of the stuff didn't quite make sense and he sort of tweaked it a little.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting. I mean, I was just gonna say too. I mean, because I'm reading book 4 right now. Like, she meets Amis and she talks about the ageless face, and I'm like, wait, she's not supposed to have an ageless face. Like, we find out about, you know, and there were a couple of other things too, and I'm like, right, you're working all that out. And the truth is, like, when you're writing something, whether it's a screenplay or whether it's like an actual full novel that has a lot to it, some ideas are inevitably going to be half-baked, even if you have built everything. Like, there's just things that you're like, okay, I'm going to put this in here, but I haven't worked out every single cog. I haven't figured out every single little thing. And then something else later might just poke a small hole in it. And then you're like, you got to move on. You got to keep going. Just fill it in as you go.
I'm sorry, just going to point out, I'm seeing that other people have given donations, so I just refreshed the page. So I'm going to make the money come out of my head. I'm going to do another little dance for you.
Money coming out of your head.
I'm going to do a robot dance. And I don't know if you people, I'd say Michael, Megan, April, Danielle, if you have theories that you want us to discuss here, please put them in the chat. So oh gosh, it cracks me up that it keeps tracking my face, but I have no control of what the body is doing.
Oh, it's Donna. Hi, Donna. Oh, hi. Donna, I just told her I was in the live stream. So she probably missed me talking about her, or maybe she didn't. So yes, if you don't know, Donna is my co-writer and my partner in crime. She knows nothing about Wheel of Time. She did once come on one of these live streams, and people were giving her things that she had to guess what they meant, and she did coin the fabulous new saying, death is lighter than a rhinoceros, duty is heavier than a rhinoceros. Which I believe is perfectly accurate.
Yes. I think that is science, actually. That's science. Yes.
Oh, you're hanging with the wise ones now.
Got me some wise ones.
Yes.
Got me some wise ones. I need some wisdom.
So, yay! Man, I am so excited for the Aiel and all of it.
It looks
excited for all of it.
so good. It looks
Oh,
so good.
Megan, that is totally one of my theories too.
Yeah, okay, that also came up in and somebody put that in my another theory video. Yeah, I love this idea.
Yes, I think that like I totally think, because I do think that it's going to be hard, and I'm not going to count them out. They have visualized some stuff that I could not imagine, and that is why I'm a book author and not a screenwriter. But like having a wolf talk to you,
yeah,
like they did a lot of really good stuff with the like wolf language, you know,
Yeah,
in the first in season 2.
Mhm.
But big long teaching monologues, it might help to have a buddy.
Yeah. I think I talked about this I know I talked about this, but it's one of the things I realized I had to just sort of let go of, because the wolf language is so beautiful to me. Like, I love the poetry of it, and I don't think there's a way to do it on the show. I don't think there's any way to do it on the show.
Don't think you could do it in a way that respected how beautiful it is as prose.
Yeah.
It would be so corny. I don't think you could not make it corny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love what they did in season 2. I think it's great. I love the visuals and the like, the, you know, the blurred visuals, but also like seeing what Hopper's feeling. It's like, it's really beautiful. It's really amazing. But Megan, I don't know if you've shared this with me. So first of all, like, excuse me, why do I not know this theory from you? And second of all,
are we gonna get sister fight? Oh my god.
Sister fight. But I think it's a great theory because, and I just literally today read the scene. I've been listening to Shadow Rising, just read the scene where Brigida is with Nynaeve and Guidal Kane like turns his back and walks away, you know, and like is just pretending that he can't see her. I would love that, because now we have somebody who it is, and he and Perrin already have a relationship, and like I love that. I love it. I love it. Yes, please, 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 please.
Yes, they have a good relationship.
Yeah.
And like, and poor Perrin had to watch him die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To see him, so that would, I love that idea.
Yeah, and we don't know if Perrin saw him when they were on, you know, at Falm. Like Matt saw him, but Matt doesn't know him. So that's also interesting. That would be fun. I love that. And I also love that he would teach him. Okay, yes, she did. I'm sorry, Megan. I forgot.
I love thinking about the Uno reveal. I know a lot of you guys have watched the previewed guys who do their reactions.
Yeah.
And I just went back and watched that one again because Adam just starts crying. He's like, "It's Uno! It's Uno!" And I'm like, "Oh, that was all of us. That was all of us, Adam."
That was all of us here.
It was.
So there has been a theory posted in here, Mikey. Fail will have info on Wolfie lore and can help.
Interesting.
I like that. I do. I love anything that's Fail, like having a breadth of knowledge, because she is the, you know, well-educated daughter of a merchant / general / trader / everything.
Yes.
You know, I'm so excited to see her.
Sorry, I just watched it. I just watched this yesterday. Actually, it's the first time I've done this. I went and bought their post on Patreon so that I could watch their whole Wicked reaction, because I didn't want to only watch it edited.
I haven't watched Wicked yet. I've been waiting so I can rent it because I don't want to pay like $30 for it. So I've been waiting till I can rent it. But I'm totally going to watch it and then watch their reaction, because I do love watching them. The dogs are, once again, the dogs don't approve of me not Wicked.
They're talking about the Wolf Dream.
Yeah,
they want to be in on the Wolf Dream.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
You were talking about Fail and the Wolf Dream. I always get distracted by Wicked. Sorry, that's another thing that we're working on, where I think we had like a 5-minute digression into Wicked.
I wanted Wolf Sisters so bad. I want a Wolf Sister. Give me a Wolf Sister.
Yeah, it sort of breaks the magic of the world that there's just not balance in there. Like it's a principle of the world that there needs to be balance, and this is a wrong thing that there is like, why aren't there Wolf Sisters? Yeah, there should totally be.
Yeah. I mean, truthfully, I guess that there are only 2 Wolf brothers that we know of. Like, I mean, there's only 2.
3, because Gnome.
Well, yes.
And that's true.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. So it is all okay. So that's actually we're starting to get into a percentage. It's not okay.
Yeah.
But it is
Yes.
it is a thing long gone. It's just now come back, whatever, however they describe
They're
it.
sisters.
Their
Yes.
sisters.
Oh, cat sisters. Yes. I love it. Oh, bring on the wolf sisters. Nice.
Yeah,
Oh.
they really should. It'd be really fun. It'd be
Hmm.
really nice to have that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Luce Theron was a dreamwalker, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Megan
Luce
asked if
Theron-
there were male dreamwalkers.
Yeah. Because I think like the Wolf brothers are definitely dreamwalkers. Like that's just a part of it. But yeah, I think Luce Theron was. Ah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It could be interesting. See, that's another of those things with the world building then, because it's like, I'd be like, then what is the equivalent for why do we have to glue the men to another spirit to let them into the dream?
Yeah.
Are men just not dreamers? Like, do they need some help?
Maybe is it part of their emotional into also thank you for Colleen. If you have a theory, look, I'm gonna do another dance, and that one you have, I'm gonna do the rumba.
Money.
I'm gonna do the rumba.
Ooh,
Look at me.
nice Roomba. I love it.
Yes.
Let's see. Egwene likes it.
Egwene likes it too.
She's looking up at you.
I haven't seen that picture.
It's
Ooh.
that's one of the thumbnails from the episode.
Oh, okay.
And I won't tell you what episode unless you want to know.
I mean, I can guess.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry. You need an emotional support animal to navigate Teleranriad. Yes.
That is fair.
Oh,
That is fair.
I love it.
I love that.
Okay. Brandon apparently did say there was at least one male and at least one female dreamer among the Forsaken. There's at least two dreamers among the Forsaken.
I thought
and Lanfear.
Shamael.
Yeah, and a Shamael definitely
was.
Is. Yeah.
Yeah, Lanfear makes some comment in season 2 about him getting better than he used to be, but for sure. And Asmodean is in the waste when Egwene comes upon him, Nynaeve comes upon him in the waste, and that's when Brigida shoots at her.
Oh, this is sorry. Yes, it is different. Dreamer, not Dreamwalker. But yes. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But you are right, because he is in Teleranriad at that point. Yeah, Asmo.
Yep.
I wonder if, like, in the Age of Legend, if you everybody just learned how to do it, because it's not a power thing. It's just
it's not. In fact, and I feel like because Avienda says something. I just read it that she said something like, "I cannot go there without help from Amis and Bear," or something like. And she doesn't ever go back. But there's some comment about it's not easy for me to do it without their help. But clearly, it can be taught. Yeah.
Does she ever do it without the Terangrial though? Like, this is another one of those world building things, because some people can just go, some people can channel their way in, some people can use Terangrial to get in. So So dreamers and dreamwalkers are two different things, but we're talking about dreamwalking right now. We're talking about being in Teleranriad. We're not talking about dreamers, who are the people who prophesize.
Right.
Prophesy with dreamers.
Although Perrin prophesies.
He does.
As well.
He does.
Yes.
He does. Yes.
So Dana was right.
Yeah.
They're both dreamwalkers and dreamers.
Yes.
It's interesting though, because Perrins almost always seem to evidence themselves as visions in Teleranriad. And Egwene tends to have dreams that are,
I guess,
as a true dream.
Yeah, my guess on that though is that Perrin is being taught how to do it by a creature that lives in Teleranriad. So they're just like, this is the world. This is what matters. But that's my headcanon for why that happened.
I like that.
Wow.
And there is, remember the Twisted Ring, you don't have to be able to channel to use that one to go.
No,
to
you just have to touch your skin. Yeah.
So
there's a wait, you said Twisted Ring. Let's see if it'll show up with my weird background. I have mine right here.
Oh,
my old Badali one from like 15 years ago when Badali was doing them for the books.
Nice.
which it fell off my leather cord today for the first time ever, and I dropped it, and I was like chasing around the house right before we got home.
Yeah. Did you guys see? I don't know if you guys watched my video, but did you see? I think the Twisted Ring is in the 11-minute teaser.
In
I do
13th
think
Depository?
it is.
Yeah, in the depository. Yeah.
I think
it
I did not see that yet. I have to go back and look for it. I haven't seen your video yet. I do think Vora's Sangreal is there.
Yeah,
And the dice thing is there, and
the dice thing is there. That could be Vora's Sangreal. Because I said Vora's Sangreal, and then somebody in the comments pointed out actually there is a rod that looks like that the Black Aja take in the books as well. So it could be Vora's Sangreal, or it could be literally one of the ones that the Black Aja took from the books.
Right, because they take the Balefire rod, right?
They definitely take the Balefire rod. Yeah, that's a separate one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I can find my copy of that.
Somebody posted on my Discord the whole list of them, and then I went back and watched again, and quite a few of them were like just
I'm excited about the Twisted Ring. I did not see that. I'm very excited. Wait, and I don't know, but so here's my question. As I've been reading Shadow Rising and thinking about like what can we fit into this season, like if I were adapting this particular book at this time for 8 episodes, what would I take out? What would I put in? I don't know if they're going to give the Black Aja the Terangrial, the Dream Terangrial. I don't know that they need it. I don't know.
They have one that isn't the disc one of them that you channel into.
Yeah,
they definitely took the disc. But I think you're right. There's a lot of Dreamworld shit to go down. And like the main reason that they needed to have the or be in the dream world in book 3 when they stole the stuff is, Egwene was practicing getting away from them and stuff, and none of that's going to be going down.
Yep. Yeah. So like here's the disc. Here's the woman. We see Naomi take this, but look what's above.
Yeah.
The unclothed woman. It looks like a ring to me.
And so, it looks like this has never looked right for me. So that looks a lot more like what I was, but I've had this forever anyway.
Yes. So, and like my guess from this is that the thing that that Naomi was supposed to take was the arm bracer, because my theory and based on like, I think I came up with this, or we came up with this. I don't know where it came from, but on Rob's live stream, was that that's part of the domination band, and then they're going to go on a fetch quest to get the rest of it. And then she just was grabbing other stuff that was whatever. So the ring is tiny. It's up there. I could see her just like, just going to put whatever's in the bag and leaving the ring behind. And maybe that ends up in, So
I love that. I also, Dana Lou just put up Alabaster Woman. I did not. I was like, what is that woman? Is that just is that like a random Sangreal? But I forgot about the Alabaster Woman for the Dream World. Okay.
I think they're going to Tanchico, right? And that's
So I think that's who's going to take them.
I will happily get rid of my wrong theory that they will not have any Dream Terangrial, because I think pretty much that's all they're taking.
I mean, and a Balefire rod. I'm pretty sure that black rod is the Balefire rod.
Yes, which is exciting.
Oh, excuse me, one moment. Okay. My husband got a new computer, and I had to help him get it out of the box.
Excellent.
So
that looks like a big box. Nice.
It's a big computer.
Yay.
Was there more stuff in there? Okay. Godspeed, baby.
Okay. More donations. So I'm going to do another little dance. I'm going to put more money out of my brain. And if you haven't, if you've donated, put your thing. Oh, I'm going to twerk, but I might disappear from the screen while I twerk.
I can't wait to see this.
Look at me. This one's a long one. Oh yeah, nice. I totally can. I'm gonna see if I can bring myself up. I'm totally going out of the screen. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay. I'm trying to
zoom in the wrong way.
I know. I'm trying to raise my avatar so you can see me. I did it. The twerking finished. Okay, hold on. I'll do it again. I'm gonna twerk again, and I'll put myself higher so you can see when I actually get into the twerking. So there we go.
That is amazing.
Fabulous.
I go into the wall as I twerk. That's weird and creepy.
That is so amazing.
So have you seen, Jen, I want to ask you that since we're talking about Tanchico, have you seen the theory? They're in the, is it in the trailer or the teaser there was a shot of a woman, or maybe it was one of the released images, the blonde woman by the statue holding a baby.
Oh, yes. What in the hell is that?
I think it's a Leandrin flashback.
Yeah.
I want a Leandrin cold open of her and her little son. That's what
I'm thinking as well too.
God, I am like beyond excited. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I definitely am feeling we're gonna
get
some badass cold opens.
More reasons to like her. Stop it.
I want to like her until
cold opens. That and pregnant Morghese, and I want Elaida to have her foretelling as Morghese is like sitting her ass down on that throne. Or about to sit on the throne, like in the liminal space between which family matters to the last battle.
Right, because that was my, because I again, not sure where this came from. I'm reading so many theories, but
I said that to you in a costume video for sure.
Oh, you definitely said that to me in a costume video, but then somebody somewhere, or maybe my brain did this. Part of her problem is that her prophecy is that it's the royal line, and she attaches to the wrong royal line. Like she waits too long.
Does she?
It's too great.
Well,
yes.
Because
I mean, that's something that's always bothered me because, I'm sorry, is the general of the forces of the light not important enough to the last battle?
Because Elaine is also very important, yes. But I
show some respect to my girl.
No, well, it's funny because I've always had the same thought of like, well, obviously she misread it, like she misunderstood it because it was supposed to be about Tigraine in that moment, like at that time that she had it. But yes, it is absolutely both. And like to say,
we could also see her having it and then arriving.
Yes, and maybe that
Morghese sits her little butt down.
Yeah. Well,
Cause
ultimately, it's both things are true, and you know, all that the foretelling was the royal line of Andor, and they
will be essential to the last battle. Not incorrect. Multiple times, this all could have fallen apart without Elaine. Multiple times, this could have not fallen apart if not for.
Can I just say, seeing her in the
oh my gosh,
in the Wonder Girls.
Thank you, Mark. Oh my gosh, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I'm just going to dance in the background while you.
Okay,
Mark, if you have a donation, I'm going to do another little dance. There we go.
Seeing Elaine in the Wonder Girls and Egwene's testing, when they're riding the horses and they're chasing Rand down, but seeing her in the, I'm like, I get like all the vibes of seeing her as a battle leader, and I'm like, bring it.
I'm so ready.
I'm so ready.
Yeah,
I'm so there.
Okay, another theory. Morghese's crowning is when we first see Elaida arrive in Camelin.
That would work with my thing too, you know. She's rolling in just as the changing of the guards. I mean, and I think that's the thing with the prophecies. Even if she had it before Morghese was crowned, like prophecies are supposed to be the future. Yeah. So, like, why on earth would it be if anybody else had like interpreted that as no, this meant the previous royal family who nobody can even find anymore and are dead.
They're all gone.
Everybody's like, Elaida was so wrong. Like, bitches, what would you have thought?
Well, her prophecy was not like, her prophecy was the royal line of Andor will be integral. So there is still a future there. I do like the idea of Elaida having this power that is just wrong, like because she does, like, even her thing. How far is this?
No, like, I think she was. I do think she was wrong. Yeah, but I think it's stupid for people to make fun of her for being wrong about that. Like, was she supposed to go dig up a dead daughter of Air?
No, that makes no. You're right, but I'm thinking about like even other future prophecies, and I can't remember where they come up. And Mike, so I'm just gonna talk around it, and everybody in chat knows what I'm talking about. But other foretellings that she has where she's like, yes, I feel super confident, and then nope, you interpreted that wrong. So I kind of want that to continue to be a through line. Sorry. Thank you all. I know I'm doing a fundraiser, but I'm always surprised by how generous people are. So thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna do another little dance for you. Which one haven't I done? Oh, the Dee. There you go. Getting the Dee. So
I'm just here for the dances. This is awesome.
Those are the only ones I programmed. I think I'm out of new ones, so you're just going to get reruns of dances now.
I will say this. Oh,
No,
wanna,
you go.
go
No,
ahead.
no.
Okay,
I'll say
I'm gonna just say the show has been doing what I believe is an interesting thing, and both in season 1 having Moraine and Swan also very bad at, as I tend to call it, interpreting ancient slam poetry.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think that I think that because they have plot armor, we give the good guys a lot of credit for being right when they're all just like making shit up based on like 3,000-year-old poems that probably mistranslated.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that being a like I know people were mad about that. Obviously, we're gonna go back to rehashing stuff from season 1. They're like, well, it can't be a girl because blah, blah. You know, it's a 3,000-year-old prophecy. Literally a part of the books. Like every single book begins with legends turn to myth, myth turns to like every single book begins with we lost a lot of knowledge. Like literally, so it's very consistent with the show. And yes, it's a very good question, Mike.
I mean, 3,000 years ago, like if we have 3,000, if we talk about like, could you recite anything from 3,000 years ago? I think we have a cuneiform or two, maybe. I mean, come on, people.
I mean, we have some pretty famous books from a couple thousand years ago that notoriously lots of people argue about how we translate.
Exactly.
We start religious wars about it.
Yeah.
Literally wars about like, yes.
Written by randos who weren't even wherever they said they were. Just saying.
Indeed. I'm just being vague because the person I know in chat, Mike, I think has gotten as far as the Gathering Storm. So I'm just answering Dana's question here. I realize I should put the questions up when I answer them.
I
think that's as far as it got.
Vague past like what we're looking at in the next season.
I'm going to try to remember to be vague.
Yes.
And to say spoiler incoming.
Yes. So people can plug their ears.
Yes. What I was going to say was I'm still trying to figure out your question at the very beginning, Jenny. I'm going to be by the end of this, I'm going to have it, which is like, what's the thing I'm most excited to see? Or like, what was the thing I really wanted to see in season 3? And I still haven't figured it out yet. Okay. Just like, I'm still ruminating on it. Aside from this, I mean, like more Aiel.
Like everything is tied for my thing from the book I most want to see. And then my Avi and Elaine is the thing not in the books I most want to see.
Not in the book. See, from the book, I think Nynaeve and Moggy is gonna I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that.
Each of these plot lines has one of my favorite things in the series.
Right?
Like there are no losers in this. Like the fucking columns, the Wayback Machine, gold.
The rings.
The rings are going to be so good.
Yeah.
And then like the Battle of the Two Rivers, epic. And then
Fail.
And Nynaeve, everybody's been giving Nynaeve such a hard time, and they were doing it again in the first 11 minutes when she couldn't channel. It's going to be so satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah.
When she comes back from this long run of self-doubt to be the first one of them to curb stomp a Chosen.
Yes. I that's what I read. Literally.
Oh, did I just say Chosen?
Ago.
I might be evil.
Ooh, I know you did say Chosen. I was waiting for the word Forsaken to come out.
I know.
But I just listened to this 2 hours ago, that scene where, and I was like, because I've read them so many times, like when I'm listening, I always like say the words before they come out of and into my ears. And but I kept preemptively saying like, wait a minute, I'm going toe to toe with one of the Forsaken. Like I just wanted to get to the place where she like has that realization. And I kept like saying it too early, but it's so good. So that might be it for me too. That might be it for me too. As terms of from the books. Yeah.
Because it's all good. You're right. Like the Fail parent story. I cry every single time I read these books. Like that storyline makes me cry multiple times.
Yeah.
But Moggy and 90. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Stuff. It's so good. It's so good.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Yes. I also liked this. People are giving her so much shit. And like, listen,
it really
you wrote the definitive post about this whole arc, Jenny. When you wrote the post, I think was it on Dragon Mount? Wherever you posted it about how you thought Nynaeve's arc was going to end with her being someone who could channel by being angry, like not the submissive It
I
is
thought she was going to break the
2025.
gender essentialism. I thought that's what she
We
was
do
going to do.
not need to be writing stories about how women only have power if they can be submissive and not angry.
Yep.
Yeah.
So fuck
Yeah.
that plot line. She's traumatized and she's scared. She's going to get her anger back and she's going to rule.
It also makes so much sense for what's especially with what's happened in the show, that she's scared of channeling. Because in the show, the last time she channeled, literally what happened? Somebody died and somebody else got captured and taken demonic. That's literally
and the
last time she channeled.
That.
Yes, I was about to say. Yeah, go ahead.
The time before that, yeah. It is so intense and she's going through it. She doesn't know what to do. She's never done it consciously before.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense. It makes so much sense and it's going to be satisfying, but people have to let her cook, okay?
Yep. And it's also like we need to see I was in 100% agreement. I was like, of course she was useless. She wasn't useless. She did lots of great things. And I have something to say at some point about everybody was so mad about the arrow. And I'm like, it's a broad-headed shaft. You can't pull it back out. Anyway, but point is, so I'm like, I know, we all know how to take an arrow out, but you can't take out a broadhead shaft like that. But we wanted to see her fail. And like, we ended the season of season 1, like, even though it was like wackadoodle with everybody burning out, like, she was so powerful. She was Captain Marvel. There was nothing going to stop her. We need to see her get in her own way. I felt like if we had her get past that by the end of season 2, where would we go in season 3?
Exactly.
Like, we want to see her slowly find her confidence again and then get it yanked back out from under her when she gets her ass kicked. Like, we just it's from a standpoint of like her arc, no way does she like come in and all powerful at Falm. It just it was way too early.
It's someone pointed it. I think it was Max, the Ishii cosplay person, but I don't remember, in the comments, the frustration that people are having with Nynaeve right now. Imagine if Rand had done at the end of season 1 what he did at the end of book 1. He's up in the sky, killing down Trollocs or whatever, like slaughtering armies, and then he can't do anything at all, can't figure anything out in season 2. How frustrated they would be with him. Whereas right now, because they're doing a power creep, anytime Rand does anything with the power, everybody's so happy. They're like, good job, Rand. Yes. Like, yay. So everybody's supporting him and frustrated. Like, you would be having people being like, oh, fuck, Rand, you're the dragon. Do it. Like, we all saw you do it. So they've actually been, the storyline power creep for Rand has protected him from that.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Yes. But I can't. I'm very excited about. I'm very excited about Nynaeve in this season.
Yes, I'm just excited about everyone. I mean, this is gonna just, and I'm really hoping. I think like this is the season that's gonna just pop off. Like, I do think that this could make the show big, like Game of Thrones 100%. Big, because it's some of the best source material. It really sounds like they're firing on all cylinders now. Like, they're all of their departments, and COVID hasn't happened. A strike hasn't happened. You know, this is the first season they get to market. And like, I saw Yosha or someone talking about how like they didn't get to do press. The last time they did press was like before season 1.
Yeah.
It's not surprising. Yeah.
Where they got to like sit in a room with people because, you know, they were all doing video stuff. So
yeah.
And then couldn't do anything before season 2 because of the strike. Yeah. Which was such a shame. I mean, it just that absolutely like took, knocked the legs out from under any momentum.
Even though season 2 was great.
I know.
But I'm having so much fun because like I'm watching so many people and my followers now start to like binge seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And it's great. And they're sending me like messages and they're just like into it. Someone on my timeline was like, nobody told me I got lesbian. And I was like, oh God. So I quote tweeted I have failed everybody.
I was literally about to say, Bree, how have you not told your followers it got lesbian?
I mean, I think I have, but I quote posted that on Blue Sky and that post popped off. Like, everybody has been like watching it now.
But it's, what's great about that too. Okay. So here's my unpopular opinion that everybody I know can't stand. I am not opposed to an 8-episode season. And I know
I argue with you. I've literally argued with you about this.
And 10 would be maybe 10 would be a little bit more comfortable. But the thing that, especially if we're trying to go 8 seasons and we're trying to bring in new viewers every season, how easy is it for people to go back and binge 16 episodes? It's really doable. Like, people are like, oh, it's only 16 to catch up. I can do that. And also it gives us a chance to go back and rewatch. Everybody's rewatching and doing rewatches right now. And it gives people a chance to be like, I can pop off a few episodes before this next season starts. And I literally had a conversation with an executive yesterday about how 2 days ago on Wednesday, about how streamers, they want you to get all the way through the season, and then they want to rewatch. And how do you get people in a continuity show to go back and rewatch when they know what's going to happen? But in a show like this, where we have so many things that really are dropped in along the way, and you're like, wait a minute, they set this. I mean, on my rewatches, I'm like, oh my God, they're setting up so much. And on first time watches, I'm like, because I know the series, I'm like, oh my God, they're setting up so much.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fun to go back and watch.
I was watching it. Allie and Gus, they got screeners, and so they would watch them, and then Allie would get on Zoom with me and watch me watch it. And it was so stressful because she would just be watching me, and I'd be like, okay, don't make an expression, Bree. Don't make an expression, because so much stuff is being set up, and she was still pretty far behind when
at that point. In
the books, and I was just like, oh my God.
Right?
Oh my God.
I went to see the first episode screening at Amazon with Allie and Gus. So we were all there, but they had already watched the first episode because they had the screeners. So that's exactly how she watched it. Like, we were in the theater with everybody, and Allie was just like this, watching me watch it
to see what you reacted to.
Yes. And I was like, there were some things that I was just like, oh, because I knew what it was going to lead to later. But I was like, shit, is Allie going to like see that and think that I'm like,
she does more than prediction math.
I know.
Listen, I'm gonna do some real vague stuff, some if you know stuff. But I asked Gus the other day, I'm like, please, Gus, please tell me you guys are gonna get to cups of tea and green dresses before this season drops, because I cannot fix my face for much longer on this topic. That's gonna be
hard. Yeah.
I was just thinking. Oh wait, actually, Bree, you and I were talking about that. That's the thing that I can't talk about ever. I can never say that spoiler out loud ever.
No.
Oh yeah, I think you were in the chat where I asked that. Yes, because I was like, God.
Yeah.
She was okay. Yeah, put up the question there.
Yes, somebody has some
or the theories.
Here. Yes, I have 2 loony theories. I want Perrin to tell the Manetheren story to the Two Rivers people. I think Maxim will die in the battle, setting Alana up for what she does. Spoiler, Rand.
Interesting.
I like number 1 a lot. I do think that, like, we got a fair amount of the Manetheren speech. Like, I'm sure more than any executive or screenwriter who hasn't read the books wanted them to do. I imagine he had to fight for his life to keep that in. But for the fans, I mean, it was awesome. But I would love to see it hit now that we've settled in a little bit, and we've seen how these people from this village are, like, there's some wild, stubborn groups of people. So I think it would be very cool.
Yes. Also, I'm just going to put this one up here because, I'm there. You go, Jen.
I love the foot stomp in the end. Fair.
See, my unpopular opinion is that I can absolutely see a 10 episode arc, but people are like, we just needed 1 more episode in here, and I'm like, no, you guys, if you had 10 episodes, none of this would be the same, because they would have to structure everything differently. It would it's not, that's not how it works.
And I could see 10. I could go with 10. I mean, it's just I'm actually, I don't mind that we're not in the old days of 26. Like, if we were like back in the
we've totally had this conversation. I want to rant at you again.
I know.
I will say this here. I'm obviously not working in television. The thing I miss about the 26 episode, well, one of the things I miss, obviously I miss just having more story, because I miss more story, but is the sense of time, because you miss the sense of time. Like, in the olden days, you would have episode 1 air in, I don't know, let's say September, and episode 20 would air in April, and that much time will have passed in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so you actually feel the passage of time, whereas
Mm-hmm.
now it's like everything happens really, really condensed. I noticed this for the first time when binging, what show was it? I can't remember what show it was. Olivia Pope, whatever show that is.
Scandal.
And thank you. And I just could not care about who she was with at any given time, because I was like, this morning she was with that person and now she's with this person. And I don't care. I literally could not give a shit, because there's been like 3 hours in my life as opposed to
see, now
if
that's
I'd
the
watched it.
opposite for me, because of the way my ADHD works, I never liked watching a show until I had a bunch of it. Because if I'm going to emotionally commit and like spend the time to make my brain remember a bunch of new people, I want like payoff. I want like 10 episodes to watch or something. So I would always binge seasons after the first season dropped, even if I like I would buy them or like, you know, but that's when I'd usually watch them. So like that just does not bother me at all.
But see, you could do both. You could binge it afterwards, and I could get my sense of time. That's what I want.
I watched the entire run of Scandal last year in like 3 weeks, which I don't advise. It just I forget sometimes, because also another ADHD. I don't have a lot of object permanence. I remember story beats and character stuff, but I eject plot like out the back of my head within like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So every twist on Scandal, I was like, oh my God, I know I've watched this show 3 times before, but this is totally new information.
Love that.
That's great. That's great.
But Scandal escalates like in the most bonkers way. It does get pretty bananas by the end, but I was still very invested in the fact that she needed to get the fuck away from Fitz and push him off a cliff, and he needed to die. Sorry everybody, but I am the president of the Fitz Haters Club. I had like 300 posts on Twitter about how much I hated. He's the president. I hate him.
The president. Yeah, I also hated him too. Okay, I don't remember.
I hate him so much that when the actor shows up somewhere, I'm like, go away, Fitz. I'm sure you're very nice, Tony Goldwyn or whatever your name is, but like, no, go away, Fitz.
Yes. Thank you, Jenn Sedai. Yes, give money. Yes. I don't remember much about that story, to be honest. I think I might have messaged you about it when I was streaming it, but that was the moment where I went, if I was watching this, when it was on the air,
in real time,
I would be invested in these relationships. Whereas right now, I don't care. I do not care who she's dating at all.
It definitely makes it harder to like, because you don't literally physically spend as much time with these people going through these things. Like, you know, even something that's not serialized, like Friends, we spent so much physical amount of time with them that you invest in these people and you feel like you know them. And it is hard to do that with only 8 episodes that come out. I'm sorry. What I don't like is dropping 3 at a time.
No, I do not like that either, because it lasts 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It makes the thing. Yeah. Why not make it last 2 months?
It's hard. Yeah. Because our object permanence is like, I'm done and done. What am I on to now? What's next?
Yeah.
Pop the popcorn. So yeah.
I'm
okay. I would go up to 10. I would go up to 10 and I would release them 1 a week. Okay.
Yes. 1 a week, 10. And I'm also tired of waiting 2 years between seasons. I'm just tired of that becoming the norm on television. Not just Wheel of Time. Like, I'm tired of that. Just in general. And I know why. Like, you and I have had conversations behind the scenes about this. So not behind the scenes. I don't know what to call it. Real life friend conversations. Like, you know how friends talk to each other sometimes when they're not live on stream.
So weird.
Behind the scenes.
It's just normal human conversation.
I am gonna say, from a marketing standpoint, I see both weekly and the 3 drop as like potential good things back and forth. Personally, I just want somebody to hand me a season so that I can just watch it all at once. I am all in on the season drops personally, but I do not think that marketing wise they're very smart. I think that in the social media world, like, I do think that like the way Wheel of Time, hopefully the 3rd episode is going to pop off something bananas considering how it starts. Right, I do think that having 3 episodes that we all go out and talk about bananas for next week, and that could give people it, like, for people who don't get super invested, if you have 3 episodes to get invested in these new people, it does help like it really stick.
Yeah.
And like, but yeah, there's lots of questions about it. I think about it a lot, like, because
so does every
obviously-
executive in Hollywood.
Yes.
And they don't have it figured out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Streaming
It's
has
hard.
changed everything.
It is. It is. And they have not figured it out here yet. And they do not know what is better. And they're,
Nope.
Yeah.
And
So-
Amazon's marketing is always like, I try not to like get into fights with people on the internet, but like I do think a lot of people don't understand that most of the public stuff that we see is like Amazon's publicity, but it's not their marketing. Their marketing is on site. Push notifications, recommendation emails, ads at the end of things, popping it up on your homepage, putting it on your phone, probably making it show up on your fridge, like,
yeah.
and I know this because they do this with my books, and they send me little PDFs with all the different places they're going to put it, and part of me.
And that's
thinks
right, because you
evil.
are officially an Amazon shill.
I
You are the thing. You are the thing that
Amazon shills for me.
That's right. I forgot. Yes, you're not the Amazon shill.
Shills for me.
You are the Amazon shilly.
Shillette. Anyway, yes, they send me marketing documents and they're fascinating. And part of me is like, this is vertical integration and it's evil. And part of me is like, yes, do put me on my therapist's Kindle lock screen. Which happened. My therapist came to me and she's like, your book was on my Kindle lock screen. And I was like, excellent.
Oh
She'd been reading Fourth Wing and I was like, yes, they are going for the Fourth Wing girls. Thank you.
That is. I have not read the episode descriptions because I am avoiding spoilers, which is
avoid.
Yeah,
avoid.
Yes,
I have.
I'm avoiding. Yeah,
I have, but I will not say them out loud because I don't want to spoil people who are here. And it's funny because I am actually not normally. That's like normally I don't want to know how do we not know what's coming with this series to some degree? But and I love that I love that we don't know because Rafe is doing something different with it. But I often don't read them because I always like shut off when it says next week on, and they show you clips from the coming week. I always turn it off. I always want to be surprised. And I don't read the back of books that I haven't read before because I'm like, I really love to be surprised as I'm reading. And my story brain starts to work as soon as I have like 3 words. And I'm like, damn it, now I know where it's going to go, or I might know. So I don't normally read them, but I did read them all and look at the thumbnails. And I did. I really enjoyed it this time.
I'm going to have you send them to me after this.
I will.
Yeah, I am interested.
There is a question here for you specifically, Bree.
Okay, Dana, if you want something that is about less filthy, little less sexy,
I was gonna say,
but still kind of sexy.
Real sexy.
But it's like very relevant to our current time and how you need to band together with your neighbors and take care of each other. Read Deal with the Devil, the first Mercenary Librarians book that was published by Tor. And if you want to something totally dirty, horny dragon books with lots of references to the Wheel of Time fandom, because I know
in which I'm going to be a lesbian pirate.
Yes. I frequently steal fandom people's names for map places and also characters. So read Consort of Fire. Which is the first Horny Dragon book, and that one is on Amazon. That's the first one they published. So those are my recommendations.
Horny Dragon. Horny Dragon, Consort of Fire. I have to always forget the real name. It's Horny Dragon.
I mean, in the acknowledgements, we called it the Horny Dragon book for a while because they wanted us to change the titles when we originally submitted them. They had slightly more fantasy-ish titles because we actually submitted them to Tor first. And so we were like thinking of being more fantasy. And then Amazon was like, no, we want them, but give them more romancy titles. And we're like, okay. So, but for a while, I just did not have a title for it in my head. So that's why I kept calling it the Horny Dragon book.
I mean, he is horny and he is a dragon.
He is.
Yes.
And Jenny is definitely a lesbian pirate. And we have a character who for a long time was just named Handsome Gambling Pirate, who is someone who donated to the last WoTCon.
That's right. Last live stream. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, Max. So. Max donated, and so there's a Silvio, I think, is his name. I can't remember.
That's Ishi cosplay, I think. Yeah.
So no, the pirate's name. I mean.
Oh.
So
Yeah, no, but Max
it's the same
Silva
Silva.
is
Yes.
yeah, that's him.
So I think I named it like Silvio or something. I was like kind of mangling the last name a little bit. Your name is Ginevra.
Ginevra.
So yeah, we have lots of fun pirate people. So there. Big segue. Also, somebody said they're mad that you can't download Amazon books anymore. I'm also mad.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Amazon is
I mean, I have lots of conflicted feelings. I love my editors. Amazon treats us better than any publisher ever has. They are really good to their authors. And also, I don't like monopolies. I don't like billionaires. I once told our editor on Amazon's proprietary video software that our evil bad guy was based on Zucker or Bezos. And she was like, I don't think I can agree with that on the software. And I was like, that's okay. Awkward moment. So, life is complicated.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I'm mad. I don't like it that they're taking away the downloads. I think that that's sort of annoying. I'm very anti-DRM. I don't think it helps prevent illegal trading, and I do think it makes it hard for people to access the things that they paid money for. So
that's always been my issue with digital media. Just like you think you own something and then it can just disappear.
Yep.
And it's hard. And I was posting about this on Blue Sky because we can't have a world where you can buy an ebook for $5.99 and then you have the rights to sell it to 10,000 people. That's not a sustainable model. But I've been selling ebooks since 2008, and we have made zero progress on figuring out a better way to do ebook ownership. And that frustrates me because I feel like we're just sort of swerving and dodging around and not like addressing that the current way sucks, but there also is a better way than free for all. I just don't know what it is yet. So anyway, here's all my ebook opinions, guys.
I love it.
People are going to start taking money back. Maker, stop!
No, it's really, I love what you said is it's complicated and it's layered and it's complex and there's not an easy answer to it. My mother-in-law is an author as well. And, like the dealing with the, like, how little pennies you get back on it anyway, and not having control over it or not having, like leaving things to a publisher and then not actually being able to like follow and track your royalties and all of that. There's just so much to it. It's complicated. And
traditional publisher royalty statements.
Yeah.
I have a computer science degree. My specialty is databases and like data in general. Karen knows. I can barely read my royalty statements from Tor. Like it took me forever to figure out because they're so weird. And I don't understand how people who aren't like stubborn and very into data in general figure out what's going on.
Megan loves a spreadsheet, but I just got a royalty statement from Warner Brothers, and my agent sent it to me, and he was like, if we want to get somebody to audit this and check it, we can do that, because it's literally like 4 pages of numbers, and at the end it's like, you get 0. Not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not actually kidding. It's like, you get 0. And I'm like, why did you even send me this? Just to make it rub it in and make me feel bad?
What the hell?
I think Hollywood is a whole different level of the stuff that we deal with, because ours is usually pretty simple. Like, we know up front what our royalties are on most things. There are things where it gets weird, but like on most things, and they're not great, but we know what they are. And so and I very rarely operate on any sort of net payment. Most of my stuff is like list price royalties, not net. But when you start doing that sort of thing, oh boy, which I have heard, I have not seen, is quite a Hollywood numbers trick.
It is. I mean, truthfully, it's, it was accurate. I was like, we don't need to get an auditor. I'm not surprised that's where we are, but anyway, but it was just really funny. I was like, why are you even bothering to send it to me? Because
I mean, it costs a lot of money to send people a lot of zero statements.
Many pages.
Yeah.
We had one book we sold to Harlequin, and we used to get like checks. It would be like 27 cents. And I was like,
that sounds like Hollywood.
I'm not depositing this. This is going to be more effort than like.
Yes, I was an actor as well for years, and I still get residual checks for like Nash Bridges, for like 45 cents. David got a check yesterday, He's a puppeteer and voice actor, and he got a check yesterday from Disney for $2.02. And my kids were just like cracking up, because that's very normal. You get,
Mhm.
a little here, a little there. There used to be a bar here in LA that if you took them a residual check that was for $1 or less, you get a free drink.
That's amazing.
Wow,
Dollars
that-
mean
yeah.
And over your
pennies.
check. Yeah.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually don't get checks from Tor because of joint accounting, which is a whole other thing that people start taking money back from if I explain. But
I just wanted to say, it must have been so exciting though for you, Bree, as a Wheel of Time fan, to be published by Tor.
it was like when we because my editor has been at Tor like since the 80s. Like I think she's now like the vice president. So like she has been around, and so like that was one of the things we talked about. I was like, oh yeah, I read like because the Wheel of Time show was coming up, and I was like, I told her, I was like, I'm really excited. I read Wheel of Time when I was a kid, and so she started telling me because I think they've since published it, but they hadn't yet. They were like going to publish one of his like first early books, that like he hadn't been published, and so she started telling me about it, and I'm like, this is so surreal. Yeah, just hanging out with my Tor editor. So. Awesome. I just do want to say, even though Tor, the company, big publishers are a mess, but everybody I worked with at Tor was awesome. Yeah. And that's sort of the thing where their big publishers are a mess to their employees and their authors. Yeah. So.
Okay, it's more donations have come in, so I'm gonna the money.
Yes, Warrior Alti, thank you. That was the book that she was telling me about.
Look, I'm also gonna do.
I
don't know what that was. No, it's not a dance. Why am I doing that? I don't know what just happened there.
You stood up.
Wow.
I stood up I'm doing a ninja pose, but I, for some reason, also am going back down. I'll do a dance instead because it puts me down. Let's see. I'm going to do swing. There we go. I'm going to do a swing dance for you.
Amazing.
Yes. Thank you all so much. Does anybody have more theories, or do you guys have theories? Have you figured out your wish list, Jen? Or
no, I still haven't figured out my wish list. Because like we've said, everybody, not everybody, so many people say Shadow Rising is one of their favorites, and it's just it's so deep, and it's so compelling, and it's so fun, and the storylines that happen are all so great. Love that not everybody's having to get naked to run into Ruidian. I do appreciate that.
Yes.
Jeez, or to run through arches or anything. Just like love that that's all done. But Sweat Tent, I can't wait to see a Sweat Tent. Glad to see that showed up in one of the teasers trailers somewhere.
The place it does make sense to be naked. So
yes, exactly. It's fine. We can get
also tribute to Robert Jordan. The man loved his baths.
Yes. Yeah, I remember I think I talked about this before, but like people got they're making it like Game of Thrones with that bath scene from season 1. And I was like, did you not read these books?
Right.
Everybody takes baths all the time. All the time. That's literally
I know.
I don't have a river dance. Oh,
like
I don't even have access to a river dance. I selected the dances I would do ahead of time. But let's see, what other dances? I could do a chicken dance. I didn't pick a chicken dance. So I'm going to do a chicken dance. Yeah. But it does take me out of frame a little bit.
Those are amazing. Those are really phenomenal. I wouldn't mind seeing Elaine spit out a veil.
Yes.
I could go for that.
I think that what I love is like they have made so many of the things that were sort of like jokey ticks in the books, like Nynaeve tugging her braid, Swan's fish stuff, and like turned it into this like the daughter of the river thing, and the all these women have stood before you. Like they've made it so cool. So I do want them to take some of those little things that are like jokes and like give us the jokes, but also make it like cool and this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's something that is in the books that I would like to see, and I don't think we're going to see it. I don't know if we're going to see it, but this is one thing from this book that I do want to see. I'm ready to see Brigida, and maybe we'll get to, but I just don't know. So that's That's
I mean,
one that I'm
Brigida
hoping
is in
for.
this book. Yeah, she's in this book.
Yeah,
She
when
becomes more
first-
central. Yeah. next
Yeah,
book,
she's
but
like,
yeah.
I mean, and if we need to save meeting her for when we're going to go farther with her, fine. That's fine. I mean, I could buy actually leaving it till next season, and I'm okay with that. But I just love her so much that I can't wait to actually meet her on the screen.
Too.
Yeah.
She's going to be amazing, and she's going to be more amazing on the show because we get to love her, and it's not like other girls thing, because there's lots of girls who are bad.
I was about to say that. Yeah. Because I love Brigida. I do. But I think, what did we talk, like a woman in a man's world? She's got a lot of woman in a man's world energy.
Yes.
She's like had to fit in with the boy. Like her thing with Nynaeve, there's some of it that I agree with, and some of it that I'm just like, oh, really? Like, really? So, okay.
It's going to be awesome to see her, like, because I love her as a character, even though she has a few of those things that really bother me. And I'm so excited to see her without those, because I don't think they're going to put the icky parts in there. I think they can like still give her and Nynaeve conflict and stuff. I think I do want to see her as like, and I think they've been good at this, making people feel like they really are from another time.
Yeah.
And I think that they've done a really good job with Lanfear and Ishamael so far, making them feel like they are just not from around here.
Not from this world.
So I'm excited to see that. And also, like, as much as Matt brings out the absolute worst in Brigida's plot lines, I do want them to be bros so bad.
I know.
Because I think Donald is going to be fun, and this could be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I would love that. I would love that.
I thought it was like a legit question. I was all like, oh, okay.
It's never come up because none of them have ever gone swimming.
That's right. The Aiel do not swim. Ooh.
They're going to have like a whole problem with this when there's suddenly a place to swim at Rudian. Everyone's going to be like, shit, can we?
Wow.
Wait, did Rob say that Katie Sackhoff should play Brigida? And I'm dead.
I'm
love just like, sorry, I'm dead right now.
Katie Sackhoff.
100%.
I would love that so much.
I don't even know.
I called Starbuck my TV wife for a very long time until I was like, wait, no, she would be a horrible wife, but I still would.
Terrible. She would have been a really shitty partner.
But we'd have fun for like a couple of weeks.
I'm like literally about to go. I have a Bo-Katan t-shirt like right out there. I'm gonna go get it right now.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, and I was like, I have a Starbuck toy right here, but I don't. I just put her away because her foot broke off. So sorry, she's missing her foot.
Yes, Dana, I do like that she is like in the books. That's, I feel like, it's one thing that they got right. Is that she's tough, but she's like, actually they let her still like, feminine stuff. I don't like when she like shames Nynaeve for not wanting to wear titty dresses, but I like that she likes them. Because you should be able to stab people and wear titty dresses. Like
that part is fine. I find often she is used to present an opinion that is unpalatable to women, but because it's coming out of a woman's mouth, you're supposed to go, oh yeah, no, reasonable women think like that. Right. And it's just like, no.
Of course I want people looking at my butt.
Yeah, like it's just like, yeah.
Why do you think I wear these high heel boots?
Like I support her wanting to wear those
100%,
especially because I want to see Sharon's take on that red dress. Like,
oh my god,
we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Yeah. But also, like, just let's not give people shit for not wanting to wear it. It's just let everybody. Okay. Yes, Karen, that was my 3D printer finishing. It sang the Bamboo song.
Oh,
Bamboos have these like little songs they sing when they finish, and great. I'm printing little keycaps for these fidget toys that are like, you put keyboard switches in them and you can like click them.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
And so I was printing a bunch of sparkly blue keycaps so I could make some fidget toys.
Nice. So. Yeah, because it's a really YouTube has started showing me a bunch of 3D printing stuff, and
I did make these. Jenny came in and she's like, YouTube's algorithm has gotten me, and now they're showing me people printing these, and I went and looked them up immediately.
Oh,
and they're so cool, right?
Oh my God.
And they make these great noises.
That's amazing. And some good ASMR.
Yeah. And so I printed a big lesbian one up, and I'm sending it to Korea.
Yeah, I will be fidgeting lesbianly soon.
I had a sparkle lesbian filament. And I was like,
Yes.
finally, I have a reason to open it.
I love this.
Yes,
Oh my
Mike,
God.
I have 3 A1 minis and an A1. And yes, I have made so many people. I've probably sold like 130 bamboos by this point because of my obsessive. If you don't follow me on Blue Sky, I've just been since Labor Day. I bought the first printer on Labor Day, and now I have 4.
Oh my
I'm sorry,
God.
I wasn't meaning it dirtily, but sure, you can talk about it in a dirty way. My lesbian fidgeting.
Max, we were talking about you and how
I know. I just saw Max is
you
here.
have a There's
Oh, there you
there's
are,
a
yes.
pirate named Silvio who he was in the book until we named him as Handsome Gambling Pirate. And then we named him after you. So you have a pirate on the pirate ship where Jenny has a lesbian pirate.
Yes.
An immortal
So
lesbian pirate.
We will be pirating together. I will be
Yes.
pirating lesbianly, and that's not dirty. Although there probably is some dirty stuff because Bree did write this book.
Did write this book?
Bree's dirty words get read to me out loud on the bus a lot. So
honestly, I can't even listen to normal sexy books on audio, much less our books on audio. So hardcore people, like I read all of my dirty books with my eyeballs like God intended. So but they do. Amazon has gotten us great narrators.
Yeah, they're very good.
And so yeah, I'm excited for people to hear we've gotten the next book, the Alexi and the Einar, who is also, I might have stolen the Einar from the fandom's name when I named him, because I was like looking for a pun on the German word alone. I was like, Align, Ein. I was like, Einar sounds good. And then like 3 months later, I was on Discord in the Wheel Takes Discord. I was like, oh shit, I think I stole his name. Sorry, he seems to be fine being an immortal Kraken pirate lord. So
yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, just refreshing. Anyone have any other theories?
I could get a queer trans mass pirate on that ship. I think I'm writing the second book right now, so I will put that right on in the old brain hole there. So.
And can we all just please say filthy hobbitses right now? Sorry.
Yeah, filthy hobbitses. Filthy hobbitses. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So, okay. Try to think if there's any other theories I wanted to throw at you.
Okay.
My main one that I wanted to talk about was Pat and Fane Slayer, because I thought that was such a cool idea.
It's a really cool idea.
I have too many theories going around in my head because everybody's been sending them to me. Because I asked for them. Like, I'm not saying I asked for them. I made a channel in my Discord where I asked for them. So let me see. I'm gonna actually just open up that channel now and see if there's any others.
Since I'm the harbinger of death, because I am the harbinger of death of like, this character's never going to make it to the show, which I've said all along. We're not going to get Gaul, which seems to maybe have been confirmed.
The case.
I'm also pretty sure we're not going to get a Ludra. I'm sad about it, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to get a Ludra. I'm going to manifest this one because this is what I want actually cut. I do not want the circus. Sorry, everybody.
Jen and I are best friends.
Yay. I'm not such a huge fan of no, that's not true. In the book, that book 5 is one of my favorites just because it's a very Nynaeve centric story, but it is her descent into like a deep depression, which I find very frustrating because most people read it as funny. And I'm just like, no, she's really sad.
Yeah.
What if we had an entire subplot where we both slut shamed and sexually harassed Nynaeve while
and
calling her
a
bad person for being traumatized?
Yeah. And having other women beat her up?
Yes, and tell her she was asking for it. And then after she was sexually assaulted by this guy, and everyone's like, you did wear his titty dress, she goes off onto a boat and is like, wow, this captain's mean. I finally met my first misogynist.
Yes, exactly.
Sure, girl. Because she might have been hanging with a whole bunch of them this whole time.
Oh my god. But yeah, like it's because I do enjoy getting into her mind that much, but it just frustrates me that everybody's like, "This is such a funny book." I'm like, "No, she's really sad and depressed this entire fucking book." Like, it's.
I mean,
really
admittedly,
horrible.
Nynaeve is my favorite character. It might be why I
Yeah.
want the circus gone.
I will take the circus if it just means we get Elaine in tight pants doing circus tricks.
Yeah.
Like, I get why people love that.
Mhm.
Let's have some elephants.
Yeah,
Great.
we could do some of that Nynaeve growth, because like, there is some growth that happens, and we don't have to slut shame her, make her feel shitty for maybe not wanting knives thrown at her face all the time. What the hell? Also, another sister fight is happening.
I know. I was like, if Megan is still listening, I'm gonna pay for this one.
I'm not entirely sure I've given up on
Fine,
Gaul
Tribbles.
yet. I don't think. I mean, it's not looking good, but you know what? I'll give them a chance. They may find some reason they need him later on.
People are getting mad. I couldn't. Here, I'll
Donate
do
to the
Save the
GoFundMe
circus fund.
to punish Jen and I.
Yes.
I'll
You
do
gotta
the robot for
support.
that.
You gotta support Jenny monetarily as she fights us.
Because obviously the conversation in this chat will have impact on the show, because that's the power we
Right.
have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
I
will if
do
I get to write on it.
Rafe
Jeez.
with my dreams. I feel like we've established that this is a possibility now. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, don't tell him
I mean,
that.
they literally pulled Nynaeve out of my brain and put her onto the show, because the amount of comments I was like, I think they've gotten Nynaeve wrong. I'm like, no, that's the Nynaeve I've been reading for 20 years. I guess you read her wrong.
I got so mad when people were like, in the episode where she like pulls the sword on Lan and everyone's like, since when would Nynaeve do violence? And I'm like,
what?
He's introduced beating people in the head, you guys.
She carries a stick around and thumps people with it.
I mean, I'm kind of
who she
glad
is.
that she's just doing targeted violence now instead of indiscriminate
Randomly
assault.
thumping everybody.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Mhm.
Since when does she do violence?
Oh my god, I just rewatched the moment too when they're in Falm and Elaine is like, "We've been doing your plan. You're going to follow me now." And the look she gives her, I'm like, "Why are you not on fire?" And it is exactly Nynaeve in the books.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I feel like all of these actors get these characters. There's not
100%.
where I'm like,
I-
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. Ooh. Bree and you and I need to have this conversation. Is there any one costume that you'd want Sharon to talk about?
I feel like I'm gonna have different opinions after season 3 because
100%.
some of those. Okay, like as everybody's calling it, the Egwene X-Men costume.
yes.
Because I was watching, I dropped in on Threefold Talk a little bit, and they were not in love with it.
Oh,
and
I love it.
I'm thinking like it's so interesting to me because it looks very fighty. It looks very dark. She is like killed people. Like, you know, she has turned a corner. She's got some trauma. It looks like the padding you would wear under armor. It's got, you know, a version.
It has an Age of Legends feel to me too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, very much. Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah,
I'm into that. And like, she's wearing pants with it, like not a skirt anymore. It's a very, I could start fighting you immediately kind of look.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was wearing it. Like there was a clip, like everybody thought it was her Teleron Riyadh outfit at first, but there's a clip that was on some British news station or something that shows that she's wearing it in the inn in Tarvalon. And
but the like ITV clip or something.
Yeah,
I clicked on it last night and then I was like, wait, do I want to see this yet? I don't know. Do I want to see this thing? So I haven't.
I do think that I am the thing of with like that evokes a leash around the neck. That is the thing I'm most like about it. So but I'm not immediately.
It's a leash around the neck, and she has an arm bracer. So it's like a leash around the neck and the soul down part.
It feels very deliberate. So like I'm interested in what like, you know, and I haven't talked to Pez yet. We need to get Pez. We can test my new internet.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yes, that's another that is a legit behind the scenes thing. That's not like friends having conversations. Yeah, a legit behind the scenes thing is your upload speed is not great.
When we record the costume videos, my upload speed like topped out at 2 megabytes per second at best. for a while.
Took like 6 hours or 7 hours.
So yeah,
to upload
I would
there.
have to keep my computer on and open for like 6 hours after recorded, and it would kill my internet. I couldn't like send things to my 3D printers, and I was getting so frustrated. But I finally got so mad, I went and tried to see, and Xfinity finally was offering me decent service out here. So I got their lowest level to test it, and it's already 10 times faster.
Wow.
So
that's
and
good.
that's the lowest level. I can still go up. So yay.
Okay.
We can record some stuff. I am interested to hear Pez's thoughts about
Yes,
that.
and I definitely want to talk about the new posters with Pez. Like that's
Yeah.
that's a big one that I want to do with her. And obviously we didn't even finish going through the trailer shots.
There's so much stuff. They're just burying us in beauty.
I mean, even just looking at the 2 costumes behind you, Jenny, in your background.
Yeah.
Like and everybody's like, but they, they did away with the shawls. And I'm like, do you look at these people like when they're in the White Tower? Because they're shawled. It's like they've done it in a different way. It's not the shawl with the fringe, like
who wants, I mean, I know some people want that, but like I don't think it looks as cool as people think. Also, like
everybody's
women
gonna conform with the same uniform.
Yeah, and active women don't need to be wandering around with something that can
With
fall
straws.
off their shoulders and like fluttering with fringe everywhere. Like,
yeah. But I love Nynaeve's. That's like, I love that it evokes the shawl that she's wearing.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
it does look like that. Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Also, if we're going by Aja color theory, it looks like she's in a war
yellow
between
and
battle
green.
and healing right there.
Yep. It's great. That which has been like since season 1.
Yeah.
I think I want to talk a lot about Lanfear's costumes, I think. Lanfear's costumes are so like yeah. I don't know, because if I get to go to WoTCon, I will get to talk to Sharon Gillam. This is I had told, like I think I told both of you I didn't plan to go to WoTCon this year because I felt really bad about having to do a fundraiser every time I want to go. And then they announced that Sharon Gillam was going to be there, and I was like, oh fuck. I gotta go.
And I do believe Sharon is aware of us. We have been told that she knows about the cartoons.
Yes, which is nerve-wracking. But yeah, Gus told me that. Gus, he met her at some event in, I don't know, in the wilds of Hollywood, and mentioned me, and she was like, "Oh yeah, the cartoons."
Listen, we have spent so much time on her work and how much we love it. So I hope she knows that deep appreciation from it, and it just because it tells so many stories. And Pez
really does. Brilliant.
Pez has given me too much power now, like too much storytelling power. I cannot have my writer brain and Pez's information. I feel like I'm dangerous.
What show is? I watched a show. For the life of me, I can't remember, but early on in the show, I was like, oh, well, these two people are going to get together. And I couldn't figure out why. And it was later on. I was like, oh, it's because they were wearing matching colors. Pez, you did that to my brain. And it was like, you did that to my brain. They were wearing the same colors, even though they were in different scenes. And my brain was just like, oh, yeah, we're supposed to Yep. Pez infected me with costume knowledge. So
yes, Dana Lou, when Pez and I go on Jenny's channel for the costume videos, we all have avatars. So we do a full cartoon lineup. So
yeah, which I never tell people they have to do, but both of you were like, okay.
I like dressing mine up. So I'm stuck though. I lost all my other costumes. So I just have the white cloak costume on my new computer. So I don't think I want to keep wearing that one, but
that's right. Yeah, because we were gonna do white cloaks. That was the last one we were gonna do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So,
Okay. Think any other okay, I was going through the channel, and then I got distracted by talking about something.
1700.
I know. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It really is amazing. Okay. Oh, okay. They haven't answered my question unless they've answered it in the comments since, or maybe that I haven't posted that video yet. I don't know. But somebody suggested, and I'm just trying to think if your writer brains can make this work, that Swan and Cadsuane would be merged.
Yeah, my brain can make that work. First, that's another one. That's another harbinger of death for me, is we're not getting Cadsuane.
But they've name dropped her in the show.
Yeah. That's why I think it. Because they were like, here you go. We're going to talk about her being like having this partner. This is how Cadsuane and whoever met when they were novices together. So I don't think we're going to get her. I don't think we need her. I think I think Maureen fits a couple things, but I don't know that Swan is going to be like advisor to Rand. Like, I don't know that we would get that side of her. I actually, my
Okay.
theory right now has been that Varen is going to fill some of the role of Cat Swan. First of all, they're both from Farmatting. And then
Oh.
second of all, when we see in the wait, have you guys watched the shredding?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have both watched the shredding. So if you haven't watched the shredding, if you're holding off on the shredding, don't listen to this part. When she gets attacked in the shredding,
Mhm.
and she definitely does something to, I think, block it, but I also am wondering if she doesn't have something like not a paralysis net, but like that she's got some of Cadswan's terangrial all about her. Like, what is the thing that she wears that we were all like, is that going to be the stone ring? What's it going to be? Is it just a magnifying glass? What is it? Is it
Mhm.
something? And so does she have some sort of protective things? Is it something like the fox head that like helps dissolve a weave? Anyway, I think we're going to get
Are
a
you
lot of.
are you talking about Varen, like that
Yeah, I'm
thing
talking
that
about
she
Varen.
had? Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think Varen is going to have some of the cod sweat, like I think maybe she has a well, and she introduces the idea
Right.
of a well, and so I think that we're going to get some of the Cadswain stuff from Varen.
Yeah. I'm in this camp right now is the best thing I've possibly heard ever.
Yeah.
I think that's
And more
Varen
all the time.
Extremely
Yeah.
against Swan being taken away from Egwene.
Yeah.
No,
Me too.
we
I love
cannot.
that.
We cannot break that up. That is the duo we need. So I
Yeah.
don't want her wandering off. Rand can't have her.
I agree.
My brain is. I see some utility there. With Varen, I'm also. I have not decided yet what I think they're going to do with Alana. I think that there's some whatever path we take through this is definitely they're laying a lot of interesting stuff about the bonds and the
Yeah.
rules of them
Yeah.
right now. And so I know earlier somebody had two theories and the other one was that Maxim was going to die in the Two Rivers.
Yeah.
I
had
personally
that thought as well, and it made me sad, but I had that thought.
I mean, my original
Spoilers,
theory
David.
was that Gawain was going to kill Maxim in the White Tower. That was my original theory.
Wow.
That was my not like my I think this is going to happen, but
Oh.
this is my loony. We need him to kill someone we care about so that this like whatever happens in this like, schism really hits. And that seemed like the most likely person, but that's clearly not going down because he's
Gone.
headed to the Two Rivers. I do wonder how many of them are going to make it to the Two Rivers, how many warders. I'm pretty sure she's only taken one there because my understanding, like, and I actually had not a disagreement, but like a slight. Well, I'm not sure if I'm seeing this the same way you are with a friend, but I thought that her Two Rivers look was mourning, like the white on her face,
the white
her eyes.
Yeah.
I'm very, very sure.
That's if you go back to like season 1, she's wearing that white makeup on her face in episode 5.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think that there's, I just reread her introduction at the Two Rivers in Shadow Rising, and I had again, speaking of retconning, they're like, yeah, she used to have 2 warders, but now she doesn't.
Yeah.
And she's just like, hey, everybody, I'm making soup. It's like, it's so isn't that thing. And we've all said for so long that the thing she's going to do coming up, if you're not listening and you're spoiling, but the thing that she's going to do, that she does it because she was so upset about having lost a warder. And I'm like,
the books don't focus on it.
No, she's fine.
So until the thing happens and Rand is feeling her sadness, but even he doesn't ever think about why. He's just like, she's crying again.
Yeah.
Like, like, I don't know why she's crying again. But
so I mean, again, like I feel like they retcon that a little. I mean, I think Jordan retconned it a bit, but I also think that there's I don't know what they're going to do because they're really sensitive and thoughtful about like consent in the show. And she has been, I feel like speaking of casting, I feel like the casting and the writing for her is so
it's so good.
Gonna
hit so much harder.
Yeah,
it's gonna hit.
Like she's just divine.
Another theory has just been posted. I'm getting more donations, so I'm going to do another money rain, and I'm going to try and find a new dance to do. I want to do the Macarena. I'm going to do the Macarena.
Nice.
So, yes.
I'll do it here.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. Oh, I'm back right out of frame.
I'm so busy thinking about the gray men. I feel
Yeah.
like that's one of those things where, once again, a book you can do something. I'm not sure how I would visualize that wouldn't be
I
a
know,
little
me too.
cartoonish.
That thing.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh,
What?
it's okay. Because I have heard that we are getting new Shadowspawn this year.
Yes.
And theories that people were posting were Golem merged with Slayer or Gray Man merged with Slayer. And
Interesting.
I'm just throwing those out there. And writer brains, if we're getting new Shadowspawn this season, what would you do? How would you do it? Keeping those theories in your brain as well.
Well, and I've heard people say Darkhounds.
Ooh, Darkhounds, yeah.
Now writer brain / Hollywood writer brain, which
Budget friendly baddie.
Yeah, I was
Exactly.
like, you can't ask me what I would do.
I don't think we're
because
gonna
I
get
have no
Darkhounds.
budget.
I don't think we're gonna get Darkhounds. They're expensive. They're really
Right.
expensive. And I mean, you can keep them they're expensive and they're also gonna not look as good as we want them to look.
Yeah. And they will look good, but then in 2 years they will look shitty.
Yeah. And I honestly think we could do gray men. I think I'm more inclined to think we might see gray men because they're just a person. So you just, I mean, it's not like Hollywood isn't full. And I heard Drakkar, the whole Drakkar thing. I did hear that drag car, we're not going to get drag car because unless it's a car full of drag queens. Isn't that what Rafe said? I think like there was a joke in the writer's room every time they talked about drag car that they just imagined a car full of drag queens.
Right.
But he did say budget. I think he said budget with,
but it is a budget situation. I think you could do Gray Man really easy because honestly, in not just Hollywood, but like in actors in general, there are a lot of lookalike actors who are they look so much like everybody else that you kind of can't tell them apart. And they're, there's just like I think you just dress somebody plainly. You put, costuming is going to be a huge part of it if we have gray men, which is honestly because they're just not noticeable. You can shoot it. To me, it's the easiest thing to do on camera. You shoot them in a way that they're like, you shoot them in a way that they're just sort of like blending into the background. You don't really notice them on camera. Like, I think you could do gray men so easily.
But how do you make it clear to the audience that everybody else is not noticing them if the audience is also not noticing them? How do you make the audience notice everybody not noticing them? That's what I don't get.
Yeah, me too. I think you can. I think you have someone. I think you can. I think you have somebody walking across screen doing something like if you have everybody else still and you have only one thing moving across the screen, the audience is going to see it. But if nobody else pays attention to it, they won't see it. You can easily just do a cutaway to somebody standing in the corner who like looks really unimportant and drab and doesn't look important or interesting. I think they can do it. I think it's.
I do too. I just I can't imagine. So I'm excited. I couldn't imagine how they could do like the wolf conversations either.
Yeah.
Which is why I write books.
Yeah.
I don't want to be told there's not a budget for flying vampire men.
With the kiss of death. Yeah.
Because I can't imagine it either. But what I literally just in my brain was imagining while you were talking was like when they do that body paint so that they blend into the background and then they move a little bit. And I was like,
Nina from the Hunger Games.
Yeah. This is true, but they could simplify it because they're not technically Shadowspawn, but
that's interesting. You're right.
Yeah.
So maybe that isn't what Rafe meant though, because Rafe is pretty accurate in his words.
Yeah, but they also could just be making them Shadowspawn. Like they could simplify it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, or and also if they are eventually going to potentially bring in assassins from Shanchen.
Blood knives.
If they're going to bring in blood knives, I've always felt like there was a connection between blood knives and gray men. That was some kind of something similar. So, And
the golem also would just look like a guy until he went to do something.
Yeah. And Amanda just said, just have the same plain guy be all the gray men. Absolutely. And that would be really cool too, is like, we've killed him once and then you see him again, like a couple episodes later and you're like, isn't that guy dead? Like,
interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to be so tortured if they do this way because, like, I can't
Is your
even tell.
face blind? Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
even tell the obvious Hollywood people apart. So
yes.
I love this show because it's not just a bunch of like. I'm sorry, House of the Dragon, but I cannot tell who is who if it's just everybody in the same
Everybody in
wig.
the damn white wigs. I can't.
Yes.
No.
Well,
No,
also,
Every Targaryen looks the same.
I think I said this to you, Bree, years ago, but that was one of my problems with Game of Thrones, the original. It was so many characters, and I'm sorry, a lot of white people. And I needed there to be more diversity so that I was not like, which old white guy was it that did the thing? I don't know. There's like 5 of them.
We like a certain type of white guy.
Yes.
And there's the Chris white guy, and then there's that picture of all the brunettes that goes around, the guy from New Girl is on it, and I don't know, I can't. Matt Bomer is one of them. There's like 5 of them, and they all look exactly the same. And people tortured me on Twitter because I could not find Chris Evans. Like, I cannot find Chris Evans.
No,
infamously
helps in many ways, and one of them is to be able to say, "No, it's the black guy." You go, "Oh, okay," and then it just makes it so much easier.
I mean, this show is very diverse, which I love. This none of these people look the same. Yeah. I mean, Gallant and Gowan might end up looking the same for good reasons, but
there's the interview with Swan, and I'm sorry that I don't remember who was interviewing her or with Sophie.
Is it Black Girl Nerds?
No, it wasn't. But maybe she says the same thing because unfortunately, actors end up saying all the same things because they can only say this much. But she just was talking about the international cast and how looking around that room, looking around the hall, the hall of the servants, and seeing that like the hall of the servants, the hall of the tower. Dang, I went 3,000 years back. But she's looking around the hall of the tower, and she was just like, these women have come in from all over the world. Like, it's a room full of A, women, B, international women. And she was just like, I've never done anything like this. And it was so amazing and exciting to just be like, oh, this is the most representative cast she's ever been in. It was really cool. Yeah. And then they shred each other.
Yes. The interview I watched today, because I think she has said that in a couple of ones, but on Black Girl Nerds, she said something this morning that I watched this morning that blew the top of my head off because I had never noticed it, where they specifically asked her about representation. She said that about that. And then her and Daniel started talking about like, oh, when I was younger, like Daniel was saying it was always computer geeks or martial arts, like that was what you could do. And she was like, yeah, when I was younger, it was the best friend or a nurse or a hooker, like that was it. And then she said the most interesting thing. She goes, and then at a certain point, it switched to like you were the head of the FBI or you were a judge or you were this. And then she said, but as an actor, what you want is the lead role. And I was like, holy fuck, you're right. They just switched what supporting characters Black people play. Yeah. They didn't. That's all they did. Like
therapist,
still
judge. Therapist, judge. Always supporting. But it's even worse than that because it's positions of wisdom. It's it's the magical
wise, black
it's
person,
just a new annoying trope.
Yeah,
but a complimentary one this time.
Yes, because it's like that was one of I remember noticing it at a certain point that they went from negative stereotypes to positive stereotypes, blah blah blah, but not ever noticing that they're still supporting roles. Like as an actor, you're not. As an actor, your life hasn't changed. You're just now. Yeah. Oh, look at your cat.
So sorry. Was I still on camera? I wasn't making out with my cat.
It's just such a loving look you gave.
So sweet.
Jenny, some people in the comments are wondering how long the GoFundMe is going to be open.
I don't know actually because I don't manage. I can't open a GoFundMe because I live in South Korea. So I have to talk with Jess about that. But basically I will start looking like this is I'm going to start looking at ticket prices. This is a very the longer it takes to raise the money, the more money I need because ticket prices go up the closer I get to WoTCon. So it depends on what the ticket prices are looking like. That's what I will say. So yes. But then I have to send it to then I have to send it to Jess and be like, "Hi, stop it, turn it off, please." So yeah, And we did talk about this behind the scenes. If sorry, not you, me and Jess and Kevin and Naves, the Tarvalon After Dark, because they're the ones, like, it's a Tarvalon After Dark thing. Leftover money can go to helping Kevin and Jess get there, because Kevin couldn't go last year either. So
Well, we need Kevin.
Yes,
because who will traumatize us if not Kevin?
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah. I think actually it is. I think that was literally the design.
Yeah, because it's almost the one. It's the chapter heading. It's a take on the chapter heading one. Yeah.
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 So,
which, by the way, that totally randomly, like the chapter headings, that is, we put those in our books because of Wheel of Time. Like, everyone's always like, what's in Wheel of Time from your fantasy books? Like, what inspired it? And I'm like, the chapter headings and all the names of fandom people I've stolen.
Yes. Yes. And oh no, that got cut.
Yes, the first book originally had a prologue, and I didn't do this on purpose. And then afterwards, I was like, this is hilarious. That started 3,000 years before the book started with a volcano thingy exploding. And I was like, woo! I accidentally did that. But then our editor was like, no, you cannot start with this prologue. So you need to just start in the main stuff. So I snuck it in a little bit later, but like, yeah. So that got cut.
It definitely is in there, but yeah, not
in the same way. So
wait, speaking of chapter
wow.
Yeah, this was the first thing I won on the Dusty Wheel.
Oh, nice.
Like early fandom days.
Yes. Yeah, this is being...
I need to convince Matt to send me a mug. He was supposed to send me a mug once, Dusty Wheel mug, and then I never got it. And I'm like, Matt, I want a Dusty Wheel mug.
Yeah.
I got one, and I live in South Korea. So
I'm sure it just fell through the cracks. But I'm like, come on, Matt, I want my Dusty Wheel mug.
Yes, you got a mug flex. That's part of the, you got a mug flex.
I need it so I can drink out of it when the show starts.
Yes. Well, I want to thank both of you so much for joining, and thank everybody for... I'm gesturing. You guys can't see what I'm gesturing towards. My second monitor, which you can't see, that has the GoFundMe up. Thank you so much for being so generous. This fandom is amazing. And yeah, do you have any final thoughts? Did you come up with your list yet, Jen?
No.
Thank you, Dana.
I know, because I'm seeing so many things, I think, already. Like, I'm just so excited about everything I've seen in the trailers and the pieces and stuff, so that I'm so far there's like nothing I'm like, oh, I just need this one thing. Yeah, because I know so many things are going to be there because I'm seeing them in the trailer. For me, honestly, the thing that I want most out of the season, I figured it out. Here it is. You ready? It's to be surprised by something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I've read them so many times, there's nothing new. I mean, even though you always find something new when you read them, I'm like, I can't wait to just see something unexpected and something new.
I think the thing I'm most excited for that isn't in the books that I know is coming is Moraine's trip through the ring.
Yes, I'm very excited to see that.
I'm so glad that they did. I'm so glad they did the shredding.
Yeah.
And like these, because they're things that happened, but we didn't really get to see them or explore them.
Happened off screen. Yeah. Yeah. There's a guy, I think he's 100 Companions is his YouTube name. He referred to the show as bonus Wheel of Time. Like, yes. And I just think that's the perfect way to do it. It's to think about it, because it's giving us more Wheel of Time. I want to answer this question because the answer is just no, not really. I know a few people who watch it. Like, they haven't moved over to Blue Sky, but there's a few people on Twitter. There's actually a lesbian on Twitter, a Korean lesbian on Twitter, who really loved the Wheel of Time. And so through her, I found other like people who were tweeting about it, but it's just not that popular. I think if Daniel Henney had been free to promote it last season, it might have, because Daniel Henney's a very big... I can always tell, sorry, it's a joke, but it's true. I can always tell when Daniel Henney is in Korea, or that when he's been here, because all of the ads start featuring him. Like, I'll open up YouTube and it's like, oh, Daniel Henney's selling me a rice cooker and coffee and a bidet. Like, he's just selling me everything. And so it's whatever. He's a very, very big name here, but he just wasn't able to promote it very much last season. So maybe this time around he'll get on that. But yeah. Anyway. thank you again. And thank you everybody for joining, and thank you for donating. And yeah, I think we'll
We're
end
so
it 'cause,
close, y'all.
yeah,
We're so close.
It's coming like 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Well, 1 week for if you're gonna
For
watch
the
Which I am.
the early
The fan
release
screening.
one. Yeah, I'm gonna be there
Yes.
too. I know, I
Yeah,
can't
me
wait.
too. Me too.
And then and then not even a full 2 weeks, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're
Oh my
getting
God.
there.
Yep.
It doesn't feel as long of a longing as last time. I mean, it's not. I know it's actually not as long as last time.
Yeah.
But it feels still like I'm closer to last season, you know?
Yeah.
In a
Then in
good
between.
way. Like as much as
Mhm.
it still feels like it takes too long, it didn't take as long. I feel okay about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They never feel it always feels like it's coming too fast for me because they keep doing it when I have book deadlines. So I'm like, no, I do not want it to be only 2 weeks away.
Right.
I'm just glad I'm not on a family trip this time, because that was very annoying last time. I was like, okay, I love all of you. I just have to go away for like an hour and a half. I'll be back.
Megan and I got very lucky because when season 1 dropped, it was, like towards the end of COVID. We hadn't seen each other in 2 years with our family. And we had a COVID trip plan that got canceled. So we ended up going in fall of 21. And we were at Disney World in Florida, our whole family. And our mom, of course, who you guys know too, Sharon is also a book fan. And so the 3 of us got to watch, I think it was episode 4. Together as a family, which was we all piled into the hotel room together and watched episode 4 together, and it was
and what a one to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I was sobbing. The Nynaeve, I was sobbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was really fun and amazing.
Yay. Okay, well, I will end the stream now. Bye, y'all.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you so much. And it should